Well. Today is a good fucking day. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Sort of a last-minute stream, but I'm glad you guys could join me. I kind of finished everything I had to do earlier than I thought, so I could afford this. Oh, what an interesting turn of event. Oh, how have the tables turned? Because Mr. Mugen here has released a new video, complete story of Elfin Psyop, and I've got a lot to say about this. I've released my own video about her, and things ensued, but I'm not gonna spoil everything. Not gonna spoil everything yet, because we're gonna watch a video together. It's an hour and 23 minutes long. I did not expect it to be that long. Mugen did a lot of research for it. I haven't watched it yet, but I mean, if it's that long, he probably did a lot of research for it. Yeah. Yeah, what a Friday surprise. Hey, Cass! Ooh, finally back from working on commissions. Hey, Rima, thank you so much for the 11 months, Cass. There's also another one. Another video that came out that's like a 2-hour interview with one of her mods, but I have no idea if there's anything substantial said in there. I haven't had time to watch it yet. Also, oh yeah, before we start though, little tangent. Well, my new video, I've released a new video, Waiting Room, on my YouTube channel. It's gonna come out on Sunday at 11 a.m. EST. It's on this crazy story. This artist, Miss Tzu, really not talked about at all. They've had a bunch of like really far-fetched excuses. A very popular artist, cartels, taking care of orphans, claiming her parents were in debt, $1 million in debt, but then a bunch of other stuff were very, very suspicious. So it's not available on Patreon for as little as $5 a month, but if not, the lower tiers at $3 is the best way to support the channel. Besides that, if you like products, instead we have gamer subs. Use code CLUB to get 10% off everything. Actually, there's a new waifu cup that came out today, I believe. Let me check. I think it's a VTuber waifu cup too. Yeah. Throw this waifu bone. This collection is out if you're interested. Make sure to use my code in the description below. And if not, you can go check out our cute little merch at Uwu Market, as you can see on my banner. Aren't cartel like drug things? They're like... Well, sometimes they do a bunch of different crimes. It's not just one crime. Alright, so before further ado, let's start the video. Turn off the sound.
Chung is a, let's say, political commentator that truly got in the spotlight in the run-up to the 2024 US presidential election. You see, Ian would tweet daily. We're talking hundreds of tweets, all centered on the topic of this election. The guy was acting like his life was hanging in the balance if the wrong candidate ended up winning. In fact, he was so passionate about this topic that it even reached the owner of the website, Elon Musk, who retweeted and replied to his posts constantly. Except...
Well, Elon Musk is like terminally online.
Here's the thing. Ian wasn't even a United States citizen. He was
Oh.
Malaysian, and he
What?
lived in Malaysia. He didn't have a green card.
TPH, most of the people that are the most into politics aren't even from the States, which is crazy.
Hell, he didn't even have a US tourist visa. In fact, most shocking in all this, the guy had never stepped foot on United States territory
No
before.
way.
Not once in his life. And yet here he was, shamelessly quote tweeting things like multiculturalism will tear our country apart and saying, that's right, they need to get out of our country. Bro, what?
Stop the LARP, dude! Stop the LARP! There's no way. Hail Rima-chan, my fake French-Canadian horse waifu! Hope you're having a great day. Oh my god, thank you so much, Magician Sapphire! Thank you for the 5! Let's go. It's funny because the people that are the most into United States politics sometimes aren't even from the States. I see what kind of tangent Muujin is going with this.
What do you mean our? What?
That's
Or how
hilarious.
about, I refuse to be governed by an Ugandan named Zohran Kwame Mamdani. Get out of my country. What do you mean your country? Excuse me. You see, the thing with Ian, if that's even his real name, is that he was the perfect example of a grifter. Someone who pretends to believe in something while not giving a shit about it, all to benefit directly from it, whether financially or by other means. And he sure as hell did.
My
Not only
God.
does he have 1.2 million followers, he also lives in the United Arab Emirates, a country that's significantly more expensive than his home country of Malaysia.
Right.
So why am I telling you all this? Well, it's simple. For as long as so many of us can remember, a grifter only took on a few different forms, whether it be a
Okay.
politician or someone extremely rich, people of power. It was a known fact that these people changed their politics based on the highest bidder that was filling their pockets. But today we live in unprecedented times where just about anyone can become a grifter and benefit directly from it. It's not a privilege reserved for the people in power anymore. This means anyone can be a grifter, even if it was
The Our Country sent me, guys. I'm still stuck on that. That's so funny.
a severely alcoholic mess of a VTuber. You see, from the first day that Elfin Psyop started streaming, she targeted a very specific demographic. Males who would typically share the same ideologies you'd find on 4chan, who love edgy humor, dislike minorities, and most importantly, never receive female attention. All she had to do was post slurs and insults directed towards minorities every day, all while acting as edgy as possible. And through this, she was able to attain over 100
The Gojo slander? No, that is taking things too far.
100,000 followers in less than 2 years. But that's not all. She was also able to make close to 6 figures in those 2 years by building very unhealthy relationships with those viewers who get no
Wait, 6 figures? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 5 figures. She made 6 figures? Holy shit.
female attention. Like, for example, calling those viewers on Discord and starting to touch herself without them knowing as they were talking. And that's
No, I think there's more because I heard that one of her mods donated 50k to her. So it could reach 6 figures. What the hell, man?
not even the worst thing she's done.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that's just one dono goal, but she definitely made more money. Is what I think he just put that as B-roll.
She was literally posting audios of her gooning to her general chat in her Discord server, accessible by anyone, okay? But this, of course, had its massive benefits. Elfin was so successful in doing this. She was so unstoppable too, invincible to all sorts of criticisms, that you even had bigger and more viral VTubers
Oh my
try
God.
to emulate her, try to copy her. That's how dangerous her influence had become. But that would all be until December 2025, when demons from her past would catch up to her and expose to us all that she's actually one of those minorities that she insulted daily. It would turn out that she is Pakistani. This is where her entire life falls apart as her simps try to grapple with the fact that she is a minority. But of course, it doesn't end here, because she might have committed a pretty serious crime that made her eventually want to delete all her socials to scrub the proof. And yes, it involved a minor. This is one of the more uniquely
It always involves minors. Why can't we leave children's out of this?
disturbing videos
Please.
I've ever made. And word of warning, throughout all of it, you'll lose hope in humanity multiple times. So before we get started, I thought I'd get the good news out of the way first. I was able to achieve a very cool goal of mine, hiring my artist Wei Wang full
Wei Wang is so talented, man. It's too bad I never got to commission them.
time. Yes, the same artist who
so
makes
good.
illustrations of me all the time and who also made my VTuber model. This was all thanks to your guys' support and, of course, Stacked. It's a creator platform that aims to rival other sites like Patreon. But instead of forcing you to sign up to paid memberships in order to take a more attractive percentage, they just take a flat 10%, nothing more, nothing less. And on the day of this video uploading, I'm launching my page with them. There are multiple tiers on my page, all made to give you the most value out of your money, and they include 4 high-quality illustrations from Wayo every month, as well as 2 exclusive rambling videos from me where I just yap. So if you have insomnia, I think this is perfect for you. I'll be very active there, so if you're interested, the link's going to be in the description and the pinned comment. And now that the good news is finally out of the way, let's get to the bad news. The entire story of Elfin Psyop. Let's do this. Alright, so first off, what is a girl failure? This is something that Elfin Psyop would identify as for the entirety of her career. It's also one of the main reasons she was able to gain so much influence in such a short time. Well, if you Google this term, you'll get a definition saying a fictional girl.
No, but chat. She doesn't identify herself as a girl failure, obviously. That's why she was upset at me for mentioning that. She just does everything and tweets about being a girl failure 24/7, but she's not a girl failure, chat. Get your facts right.
Or woman who is endearingly pathetic or inept. And while yes, this is true to some degree, it barely touches on the whole story. In fact, if I had to explain what a girl failure meant, then I would say it's nothing more than a modern and extremely bastardized version of a damsel in distress. Yes, the idea of a woman that finds herself in such a desperate and helpless situation and can only ever hope to get out of it thanks to the help of a man, preferably a white knight in shining armor. He would extend his hand to her, he would save her, and they would live their life happily ever after, with the man taking full credit for the woman's happiness. At its essence, this is exactly what the term girl failure means. A woman who is such a loser, someone who can't take care of themselves, that's just waiting on a man that can fix her. But when it
I didn't even make that comparison before. That's clever. This makes this into story look like a water fight. Oh, have you seen the video yet?
came to Elfin, she wasn't just a girl failure, she also happened to be someone who was very mentally ill and severely alcoholic. But don't take my word for it. This is how she would introduce herself to people who would find her account on Twitter. Hello, new people. I'm Elfin. I'm a loser. In parentheses, girl failure. Whatever. Stinky elf federal agent. I love bugs and I've got bruises. I'm a very messy person, tired, and a massive alcoholic. My interests are conspiracy theories, astronomy, military history, and coding. I'm also extremely edgy, so you might see me post retarded rants while drunk. Wow, what a flattering introduction. I can totally see how she needs a white knight to save her from her predicament. But other than her making alcohol her entire personality and being a very clear example of what a pick-me girl is, you'd probably never guess that this person started streaming in February of 2024 and by mid-2025 had over 100,000 followers. So
not gonna lie, that is insane. That's insane.
How the hell did she manage to become so big in such a short amount of time while having an extremely loyal community that would practically die for her? Well, it involved a multitude of different factors. One of the first factors is that she was edgy, like extremely edgy. It's as if she was competing for the Edgy Olympics and wanted first place. Like this right here was a tweet of someone saying they went to the mental hospital and the nurse laughed at them for attempting to leave this planet, right? What does Elfin do? She would quote tweet this and say, "Can I just say you deserve it if you fail at it? Like it ain't fucking hard to kill yourself, I'm sorry." How about this tweet? "Some black people shouldn't have rights." Or this one, where she says, "So I became a Nazi, yeah bitch, I'm the villain," showing a German pistol. She tried way too hard, and for the average person, this was extremely cringy. Like in this massive tweet with multiple paragraphs, she's basically saying, "Oh, you're saying the N-word hard R, you think it makes you based? Edgy cool? Say actual vile shit. I want more edginess." Like imagine lacking so much self-awareness that you think this is actually cool. This was as far back as November 2024, and look, it would have normally been ignored. She's not the first one to be this edgy on Twitter. Normally, right, someone like Elfin would have never gained more than 10,000 followers. I would have never had to make a video about her to begin with. So what was really one of the main factors that put her on the map? What changed everything for her and her entire career? Well, her belly. That's right, and I wish I was making this up. I'm talking about her belly, her stomach, her abdomen. She would periodically post pictures of it on
Okay, the music change is so funny. Great editing so
Twitter,
far.
and she would gain tens of thousands of likes. Like, for example, I remember this one because I saw it on my feed. It had the caption of "whatever, enjoy," and it
Rima Belly when? Bro, I feel like am I doing things wrong? I think I've been on Twitter for 2 years now and I don't have 100k followers.
was literally just her abdomen. Here's the high res. I mean, it's nothing special, right? So why did this post in particular gain 15,000 likes? Well, because she's a VTuber. I wish I was kidding. At this point, one could call this a kink, and the Twitter algorithm rewards it heavily. Like recently, I saw a picture of cleavage on my feed. It had over 20,000 likes. I was like, what makes this cleavage so fucking interesting? I went to that person's profile and I saw they had 200 followers, but get this, they had a VTuber profile picture. That's
Is that
right.
the play?
The appeal that someone who is anonymous, that is too shy to show their face, is sharing skin. Elfin loved the attention this brought her. So as I said, she would post this periodically, and every time she would gain so much attention on her profile. It's insane. But it doesn't simply end here. After the horny guys would follow her because she has a nice
So was she a minor at this point or later? I guess the video will explain to us all of that, I'm sure.
looking belly, they'd start seeing her other tweets, her girl failure tweets, where she would say things like, "I'm 20, I've never had a boyfriend, I'm a virgin, I've never kissed, fucked, or anything before. I hate myself so much, this is such a terrible situation." Look at this post, for example. Legit just gooned and it looked exactly like this. I'm fucking literally hurt. I stink right now. I'm gonna kill myself. I'm so upset. I wish I fucking had real life friends. I should be out hanging out at a bar right now. This post, posted on December 14th, 2024, would have over 2.9 million views and 85,000
I thought she wasn't a femcel.
likes, as well as 1,000 comments and 28,000 bookmarks. This is one of the most pathetic posts you can
28k bookmarks! Oh my god. Wait, if she had premium when this happened, she made bank off that post, by the way. Holy.
imagine. And there it is, going viral. She'd post something like this every single day. And it all goes back to the whole damsel in distress phenomenon that I was talking about earlier. She was a
Really?
VTuber who only had male interests. She was edgy, racist, and seen as based by some people. And she had a nice looking belly, which makes people's imaginations run wild.
There's no way that's what men want. Right, Chad? I have lost. Mugen was right. You are losing hope in humanity as you watch this video.
They think if it looks that good, then her face must look amazing too, the rest of her body as well. But the cherry on top is that even though she's all these things, she also happens to be a girl failure. She's someone who hates her life. She has no friends, she lives alone in the UK as a student, and the cherry on top was that she
You're
was
like, oh my god, she has no friend. Maybe I have a chance. Is that the allure? But that's not even like challenging. Like that's not. I'm just gonna play.
a virgin, guys. She was pure. A witch could use her
Oh, yeah,
tears to
she's
make
pure.
a potion.
I'm
And she
sure.
was just waiting for the right guy to fix her and wife her up. She understood this very well. But even though this was all a very elaborate plan to begin with, she still managed to take it to a very worrying next level. And that would be when you would take the next step to join her Discord. Her Discord is exactly what you would expect. Elfin would spend a worrying amount of time on there. She was practically chronically online, and anyone could pretty much talk to her. Most conversations revolved around
Rima, you have to think like a gooner to understand this mindset. I am a gooner. I don't understand this mindset. I'm a goonette. Yeah, she's not targeting well-adjusted men. You guys are right. She's targeting, you know, loser man. But it sucks because it's unhealthy for them too, because she's trapping them in this cycle. And she's reinforcing this image that they have of themselves, so they never get out of it.
two things. The first one being about racism, and the second one being about her being a massive gooner. Here you can see someone saying, Elfin's been mostly quiet on the server today because she's embarrassed about how hard she was horny posting while drunk last night, to which Elfin replies, we're not talking about that. A viewer would say, you gonna call her a good girl, or is that just for you? Elfin would say, me. And an amazing example right here, someone saying, Elfin, do you choke yourself? And Elfin replying with, yeah. It was pretty much a server just to worship her and hope that she'll give you attention. Additionally, you'd see her say obscene things that she couldn't even post on Twitter. Like, for example, if I had to f*** a dog, it'd be a husky. I genuinely don't know what to say about that, dude. Like,
I don't know. What?
I mean, I'm
what the fuck?
speechless, but I wish things ended here. Elfin would take this parasocialism that she had built in her Discord server to a level.
I fucking love the music change you got. Like, I notice all these things because I produce videos too, but I love the attention to detail put into this.
That no other VTuber had ever taken it to, especially if they were the same size. And
I don't know, people be out there admitting things you couldn't torture out of me. Like, if you threw me into Guantanamo, I can't say this name, that jail, that one jail.
Influence. During her career, she would post over 11 different audios of her literally gooning with a vibrator. And get this, she wouldn't like post them in a private channel with her top donators or whatever. No. She would post it.
Azkaban, yeah, that's the one I was thinking about. Azkaban, yeah. I feel like that Discord is sticky as fuck. Stop! Do not put these images in our head. Oh my god.
In general, in the channel that anyone who joins the server has access to. Now look, I'd love for you to listen to this clip in particular because it is so ridiculous, but you can literally hear a vibrator in the background, okay? So instead, I'll reenact the first 10 seconds for you because it is one of the most bizarre things I've ever heard in my entire life, and I mean that. She goes, eh, in the most like lolly voice possible. Then she says, if there's any Slavic guy out there that wants to marry me and kill N-words hard R, I want to murder all N-words hard R. And I'm telling you, during the whole thing, you can hear a vibrator go,
what? Wait, what? Wait, this is... What? What? Wait, my brain just exploded. Holy shit. This is insanity. And there's a vibrator the whole time. Chat, that's crazy. This is holy shit.
Going bzzz in the...
Yes, it's true. Do you want the link? No, I don't want it. I don't want it. But your reenact was really good, though. It was really funny. Oh my god.
Like, bro, what are we doing here? Like, what is my life? What the fuck is this? That already tells you a lot about who this person is, right? And
how much mental damage did you take making the video? This needs, yeah, Mugen burn it. This needs to be lost media. If the scientists find this, when they're looking, like in 200 years from now, when they're looking for remains of our civilization, this is what they'll think we're like. A lot, but less than the Cinder 1000 pages. For me, I remember my editor was going crazy trying to edit everything, like trying to censor everything. The censoring was probably a monumental task.
Of course, if you were to confront her about this, she'd say, oh, I don't remember. I was drunk. I'm an alcoholic. It's my entire personality. And now you might be making the mistake of thinking, Mugen, all right, I get it. I get why she had so many followers and I get why she made so much money. And I mean, buddy, do you really think I was going to let you go that easily? No, because now the fun begins. What do you do when you have an army of...
Video would have come out like 2 days earlier if it wasn't for all the censoring, bro. I bet. And you do everything yourself. So far, the storytelling has been stellar.
Of 100,000 military-aged men who willingly castrated their balls to worship you. Well, you start reaching deep into their pockets by suicide baiting. Tweets like this wouldn't be an uncommon find with Elfin, saying things like, genuinely want to kill myself, man. Or how about this post on her Discord saying, I just got charged like $1,800 about as tax. I'm literally exempt from paying that. Since she's a student in the UK, they just plainly took my money for my tuition and I have to pay rent soon like a year's worth. I'm gonna actually fucking kill myself. She would then talk about how depressed she is and unmotivated and oh my god, I need to earn rent. Even though, as you might guess, none of this was actually true. She'd keep this lie going on other platforms too, saying, I'm getting kicked out my apartment soon if I don't pay for a whole year up front. Time to find a new house or go homeless, I guess. Streaming from under a bridge. Fuck. She'd have 101 replies, all begging to help and wishing her the best and being worried about her. Poor Elfin. Now get this, she'd say, does anyone want to buy my blanket I used to hump every day for money? I need money for rent, thanks. Now look, most people, if they tweet something like this, they'd be laughed at. Maybe people will think, oh, they're just joking. As I had mentioned already, Elfin had an army of 100,000 men who castrated themselves.
Wait, that reminds me of that one VTuber who sold like her old gaming chair and it was like filthy and gross. Who was that again?
Just to worship her. So what do you think actually happened? She got offers. Someone would say, actual? Question mark? Offer? Question mark? Elfin would reply with $1,000 runes, to which someone would say, PayPal or Venmo.
Oh my god.
She had these guys wrapped around her finger, and she knew that. She'd somehow always end up being short on money no matter how much people donated, and at some point would even open commissions. Yeah, well, it turned out that her commissions were her just finding a Japanese artist, stealing their art, and then adding small modifications and making it her own. But her
What? Are you serious? That is insane.
Her fans didn't care. Listen, she was a girl failure. She wasn't perfect. Yes, she did some weird things, but don't worry. They'll be the one to fix her.
You know what? Wait. I'm remembering something now. Auntie's remembering something now. This is unearthing some memories. Hold up. Didn't she reply to my highlight video about her? Saying that she never S-side baited? I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word now on YouTube. Didn't she do that? And now we have the proof here, once again, in black and fucking white. They out themselves, man. They out themselves.
So chill. Elfin had essentially done what no other edgy VTuber could have ever hoped to achieve. She said some of the most vile, racist shit known to mankind, all while having a massive army of simps supporting her. God, I mean, she must have felt invincible, like she could do anything, like she was untouchable, and to be honest, she was. But that was, of course, until her entire world crumbled right before her very eyes, all due to someone she thought she could trust. On December 4th, 2024, I'd release a video titled How This Entitled VTuber Lost Her Career Overnight. It would talk about Gunpei, an extremely edgy VTuber that had 1/10 of the audience Elfin Psyop has. You see, someone made a fan-made plushie of her and wanted to sell it. She had a complete crash out and started being racist towards them. The entire VTuber community rallied against her, and instead of apologizing, she doubled, tripled, then quadrupled down. It was very
Gunpei Whiplash. Holy.
embarrassing and humiliating just for about anyone who had self-awareness. Now, after my video would come out, some people would take it upon themselves to investigate her further. What they'd end up finding is a very, and I mean very, parasocial community. You couldn't even join her Discord server if there was any doubt that you were a woman.
Yeah.
Gunpei would immediately ban you and say that she doesn't want any other man in her server to give attention to any other woman but herself. She essentially acted as everyone's girlfriend, but it went way beyond that. If you sent her a picture of your sausage, yes, your straight up genitalia in DMs, instead of blocking you like 99.99% of women, she would instead give it a rating. She'd compliment it. She'd write a paragraph about it. Yeah, trust me, I was shocked too. Anyone could essentially DM her anything, and she was chronically online in her Discord. This is how she was able to get so many different gifts and so much money from her community. I know this already sounded familiar to you when it came to Elfin, but it went deeper than that. Gunpei had another account by the name of Zuba. She used to post normal things on there, but then one day posted an image of her in a bikini, specifically showcasing, yeah, you guessed it, her belly. That tweet would get over 25,000 likes, and that's when she would decide to make a VTuber, knowing she can take full advantage of that. And she did. She was practically invincible. That whole backlash about her being racist, my video coming out, nothing affected her at all. But her career still somehow ended. You know why? Well, it turned out she had a boyfriend. When you tell your community that you're their collective girlfriend, and
it's always like that. Like, it's not even the crazy ass shit they do, the racist comments, It's always just the thing that's making them it's the opposite of the image that they portrayed themselves as to their community.
It turns out you had a boyfriend behind the scenes, you lose all your fans. It's just that simple. When this was revealed, she would scrub her YouTube channel, delete her Discord server, and deactivate her Twitter account. She would briefly reactivate it later and sell her entire model and assets for around $2,200. It would somehow get bought by a viewer of mine. I hope he's enjoying the model.
Really?
And that was that. It wasn't her racism. It wasn't her weird attitude. It wasn't her being an unlikable person that canceled her. It was simply her having a boyfriend. When you're parasocial, you're invincible unless you're lying to your community. That's the one taboo rule you can't break. What's really funny is that she would go as far as trying to reinvent herself, creating a new VTuber identity.
That's her! She looks completely different.
In May of 2025, and in just the span of like a couple of months, people would discover that there was a lot of similarities between Gunpei and this new Mirio Maki. On July 8th, she would post an explanation apologizing for her past behavior, and she hasn't posted or streamed since then. Now, you would think that since her and Elfen shared so many similarities, back when her controversy was happening, Elfen would have maybe came in and defended her. I mean, Gunpei wasn't even saying half the edgy shit that Elfen said on her feed, right?
Yeah.
So come on. Surprisingly though, okay, it's not really a surprise, Elfen would join the dog pile,
Yeah.
saying, "Oh my god, my based racist Chuba, ooh, it's only funny when they say shit unintentionally and not in an active effort to harm/insult someone. When did we lose sight of what's actually funny?"
Hold up! Wait. She said that? I am seething. Hold up. She said that? That's funny. That is funny. Because that's also what I said about Elfen. And she was like, oh my god, get these normies out of the community. All right. I see how it is. But I am getting Vietnam flashbacks from this.
So look, this tweet makes absolutely zero fucking sense, okay? This is just Elfen being the typical pick-me, seeing that someone's being hated and trying to profit off of it. How? Well, it's simple. Gunpei had a lot of parasocial fans, so Elfen clearly wanted some to come to her community instead. But above all, she wanted you to know that she wasn't a grifter, okay? She was a real girl failure. She was somehow taking the moral high ground. I'm not fake like you, okay? I'm authentic. I'm as real as it gets, and I know what I'm doing. And that's the attitude she always took when she saw someone doing something similar to her and getting canceled or getting into trouble. What's deeply ironic here, though, okay, is that barely a few months after she was taking this moral high ground on Gunpei, someone would come out with a 51-page Google Doc about her on April 18th, 2025. His name was Average Bird Enjoyer. And this was significant because he was watching her from the beginning back in 2024, and he was one of her lead mods. He was always there for her, as well as always in her chat. I mean, look at this. On a scheduled stream on YouTube, there was a pinned message saying, "Elf is currently dead asleep. Potentially no stream today. We'll move to tomorrow if that's the case." The stream was still running as she was doing some sort of a donathon. It's kind of like a subathon, but it involves direct money. You'd hear some sort of a Discord ring on the stream, and Average Bird Enjoyer would come in and say, "That was me calling her to see if she'd wake up, lol." So this was someone who, as far as the community was concerned, was close to her. In fact, the guy wasn't just close, okay? He was borderline insane. At some point, Elfen would be streaming and she had a donation goal for PC funds set at $100. Average Bird Enjoyer would come in and donate. In one payment, $10,000.
Oh,
Probably,
God.
and most likely because he thought he could be the one to fix her. But here's the deal. He wasn't the only one. The document that Average Bird Enjoyer wrote was 51 pages long, and it involved 6 people total, including himself. But are we actually going to bother diving deep into this mess? Hell no. Honestly, it's so pathetic, it's not even worth doing that. I'll just sum it up for you. In a nutshell, Average Bird Enjoyer had spent over $50,000
Oh my God.
on Elfen in the span of like less than a year. Listen, I have to specify.
I don't even think I specified that in my video. Like, I think Mugen found that information out about the 50K. Oh my god, I can't click on your dono, I'm sorry. Oh, there you go. But what about some of us that are parasocial with chat? I mean, they don't have girlfriend right now. You wouldn't cheat on me, would you, chat? Oh, Rima, you're here too. I'm always in the cock chair. Hey, Allegraza.
This. He found her when she had less than 500 followers, probably 50 viewers. She was not a big streamer by any means, but Average Bird Enjoyer went all out thinking that he'll genuinely be able to like be Elfin's partner. Okay.
This is like the Parrot, and you guys remember when Parrot and Nuzagi were explaining to me how some people were like grooming small indie VTubers? This is it. This is the phenomena that we're telling me about.
That they're gonna date. He thought they were exclusive to begin with. He sent her $10,000 on that stream. He hired her an editor. He got her a manager. He was willing to pay for her new VTuber model. They met up IRL and he took her to multiple Michelin star restaurants. Dude blew a fucking apartment's down payment on this girl failure. But he was the only guy who actually had to spend this much money. The other 5 guys spent almost nothing. And they got the same treatment that he got. What was that treatment, you might ask? Well, other than meeting up with her IRL and doing stuff, yeah, she's not a virgin. I mean, who could have ever guessed that? It all would start with them messaging her being
Ah, yes. We found that tweet from Elfin about her. That's so funny. These people are so spineless and hypocritical because they will change their stance on a whim, and their audience never call them out for it. That was a tweet that was directed at me, by the way. Oh my god, and I didn't expect her to be actually edgy. I just thought it was edgy humor. That was me explaining how her fan base worked. Why do normies even try, bro? Send your own VTuber lane, deal with normie VTuber drama rather than this. It's definitely not something you can handle, clearly. Oh, that definitely aged well, Elfin. Clearly it's something you couldn't handle. You know, what's really funny and ironic about all of this is that these people, they're all the people that will scream the loudest about gatekeeping and shit. You can think whatever you want about gatekeeping, just saying, but it's just really ironic that the people that will scream the hardest about gatekeeping are all the ones that would have normally been gatekept if idol culture and VTubing culture would have remained the traditional idol and VTubing culture it would have been. But instead, I'm the one being called a normie.
in her Discord, right? Messaging her and her reciprocating. She would then get in calls with them. Okay. listen, she would then get in calls with them. And as they were talking.
And the worst part is the amount of brainless monkeys that were just agreeing with her. But we'll get to that later.
Right? They could be talking about their day, a game they're playing, whatever. She would start to flick her fucking bean, bro. She would start gooning right then and there to their voice. No warning, no nothing, dude. And then after she'd be done, she'd send them explicit pictures. These guys would, of course, be shocked. What the hell is happening, dude? And then the next day when they'd ask her about it, she'd say, oh, I don't remember anything. I was severely drunk. Please delete all my pictures. However, she'd keep doing it over and over and over. And each of these guys thought that she was being exclusive just with them when she was doing this with 6 people at the same time. And as I said, she'd meet up with them, she'd do things with them, God knows what. But overall, she wasn't this pure virgin girl failure she was making herself out to be. That's pretty much the 51 pages in a nutshell. It also involved incredible DMs like this, with Elfin saying, birdie to you, birdie you, if you just touch my noe, my puffy, it'll make me fub, cun, teal it fast.
How did Mugen decipher this? It's like deciphering ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs.
Passer, winku, you know, I'm gins what good do. Average Bird Enjoyer would then say, translated, Elfin telling me if I touched her pussy, she'd come real fast. What am I doing with my life? Anyway, when this document came out, Elfin was furious. She was watching her entire world crumble around her. She saw what happened with Gunpei and did not want the same to happen to her. She had been parasocial her entire career. Her entire Discord was obsessed with her. She can't have this leak. And yet it did. So she would tweet this out almost immediately, saying, I see shit like this and know for a fact that these people barely do any research and just love saying shit. I had phone sex for a couple of days or weeks with some guys. Okay, wait, hold the phone. Days or weeks? That's a huge range. Anyway, I told all of them day one I was not into dating, and they agreed with me. Most of them don't even care about the situation. They went out of their way to message me just to say how stupid this drama was. Only Bird and another person who repeatedly tried to threaten and dox me were emotional homosexuals. Bird not only went around trying to poison my community, he actively shared information about me to other server members in an attempt to make them join his side. He went to all my mods and all my close friends in the server. People saying, oh my god, there's no evidence of Bird being a bad guy. First of all, 51-page expose about someone you apparently cared about as a friend, his words. If you really wanted to help me to stop my pattern of behavior, you could discuss it with me like everything else. Just to cut her off here, something else that was mentioned in those 51 pages was how when every single one of these guys found out what she was doing and confronted her, she would lash out. She'd get very angry and she wouldn't want to listen to a single thing they had to say, especially when they had something to say about alcohol, okay? Anyway, let's continue. But no.
She said something like, oh, it's the grown man complaining about a 21-year-old manipulating them or some shit like that. I mean, TBH, what they did to her was also not right, and the doxing and stuff is also not right. I do think both sides there were in the wrong. But it's what she did after that was worse.
I only talked to Bird that way for a month. I crave...
Well, not worse, because I'm not going to compare trauma, but she escalated everything. It's her behavior after that escalated everything even further.
Validation from men. I admit I wanted compliments and I wanted attention, but he acted as if he was my dad. His friend would try to wingman and tell me I should meet Bird and just be with him. He could make my life so much better, and I straight up told him I wasn't into Bird. I have screenshots and evidence. Also, when I first started streaming and Bird came along, I was 19 at the time, extremely new to VTubing and having this much attention. He taught me everything about VTubing and keeping me in a bubble. She would then talk about the point of women not taking accountability, saying, motherfucker, all I've done is say I'm not a victim. I keep fucking saying I was wrong too. Why are you just ignoring this? Oh my god, she cheated. On who? I was dating no one at the time. I never dated any of them, and I have screenshots of some of the guys saying they knew what it was. It was not dating. We had phone sex, gooning on call. She would then make another tweet, quoting something that many people were saying, oh my god, these poor lonely men, while she replied, while they're 25 plus adults. If a 19-year-old has to be held accountable for whatever she's done, you can't possibly in good faith ignore the horrible shit these men do just cause lonely. I literally live alone and talk to a total of 0 people IRL. I'm fucking lonely. And look at this very sad image she posted. Oh my god, it's her crying. But guys, don't worry. As she said in her own words, she is not acting like a victim. But look, to be completely impartial here, these guys were really weird, especially Average Bird and Joyer. Look, if you go and donate $10,000 in cash right now to a top streamer, they'll fucking block you because they know that you can't be donating this much money without ulterior motives. This document was made on purpose to destroy her career, isolate her, and further take advantage of her by manipulating her as she was all alone, okay? The document also revealed that she's always been known as being a certain person on 4chan. Someone who has had a history of sending nudes and being explicit. They'd even go as far as saying that while she was talking to these 6 different guys, she had an IRL boyfriend. It was an attempt at totally annihilating her entire reputation. At the same time, though, she refused to take any accountability. She'd say that she was groomed. Brother, you were 19, and you had continued by that point posting gooning audios on your general chat in Discord. What do you think this is? The objective conclusion to this entire drama was that everyone in this sucked ass. But no, Elfen wanted to be seen as the victim. And even though normally she should have had her career destroyed by this point, she should have been completely abandoned by her community.
Wait, so if any of us drop 10k, are you going to block us? Well, technically this is 10k and you're still unblocked, Kawasa. It's 10k of, but I don't know what this currency is. The opposite ended up happening. She again had defied all odds, and let me show you exactly why. Rima Evenstar is a VTuber who makes some very detailed video essays about the VTuber community. A couple months after this document had dropped, she would release the video titled "She Played Her Fanbase Like a Dating Sim, The Elfen Psyop Situation," garnering over 100,000 views. In this video, she— Mom, I'm on camera! Woojin's video is way more entertaining so far, though.
would constantly be referring to Elfin as a Menhera, a term for a character who is emotionally unstable and in poor mental health.
Oh,
They
yeah.
are very emotionally fragile and experience extreme mental ups and downs and mood swings, which can make them a bit difficult to be around. They may have an unhealthy dependence on love or their partner, be a troublesome person who displays unexpected aggression and tries to dominate others, be easily hurt by the smallest of words, or have suicidal thoughts and think the world would be better off without them.
Wait, this fits her perfectly, actually. I forgot I said that.
Hey man, I don't know about you, but this perfectly describes Elfin
Oh!
Psyop so far, right?
Wait, hold up! I swear I haven't pre-watched this!
But Elfin was outraged.
Aw.
She despised that video and hated Rima to the point where she added her on Twitter and said, Rima Evenstar, I don't know why you like to spread genuinely dog shit and simply false rhetoric so easily. Maybe it's because you're a drama VTuber by name, but it's just bullshit to spread false things without confirmation. Firstly, when you made the drama video on me, you got a lot of facts wrong and didn't contact me to confirm details either. Nice journalism. Now,
Nice. The journalism thing, I don't know where the fuck they get that from. I never called myself a journalist. I'm not a journalist. I don't work for a journal or a network. I don't, journalists, there's a lot of things that they do that we don't, they have access to resources that we don't have. I am a commentary channel, just like so many others on YouTube. I comment my own thoughts about topics. That's it. Would you be a journalist? You could be one. No, though. That's boring. Like, the thing is, also, it's funny how she always says that, oh, this is full of lies and false rhetorics and blah, 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 blah. Same thing she said when the document came out. And the thing is, when the document came out, initially, she made a stream where she showed her side of the story, right? I've explained this before to my chat, but I'll explain it again. I don't think Twitter fights, so maybe that's to my disadvantage because it doesn't reach the wider Twitter community, but I sort of assume that people will use their brain. Initially, when this drama came out with Average Bird, she released a video explaining her side of the story with her own evidence, etc. It was super not well received by the community. Nobody liked it. It was not convincing. The top comments on that stream are shitting on her. So she privated the stream. When I did the video, I didn't have access to that stream. I had access to the transcript. I included the entire transcript, literally everything, because I was like, we spend so much time on that 54-page document because it's so fucking long, right? That I have to spend as much time as possible as I can on her defense. But she didn't have a lot of defense. I used her entire transcript. So when she came out and she was like, yada, 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 you didn't do this, you didn't do that. I was like, hold on, why are they rewriting certain history? As if she wasn't the one privating the stream in the first place. So I speak to her because then she's tweeting a bunch of sad things on Twitter. And I felt kind of bad, as she was like tweeting that she was going to like off herself. I was like, okay, this is getting heavy, let's talk. So I was like, what can I do for you? And she's like, well, you should have included my video, my side of the story. I said, I did it. There's a transcript. She said, well, there's some screenshots in the video that I want you to put. I'm like, all right, well, can you unprivate the video? Because I can't do anything if you don't unprivate the video. And if you do, I'll add this to the pinned comment. So she's like, bet, I'm going to unprivate the video. I'm like, all right. I typed a pinned comment. I put the link in there. I'm like, go check out her evidence. But let's be real, it was always weak. She didn't have any good evidence to really defend herself. But, I thought it was a good thing that she unprivated it so she can share her story fully. And then later on, she reprivated it because she realized it was dog shit, I guess. And then she turned around on Twitter. I was like, oh, okay, we explained ourselves. I did what I could, even though I didn't have to. And everything's cool. And she turned around and like farmed this as much as she could on Twitter. And for some reason, all of the people that were there when the document initially dropped on her, and who also clowned on her back then, they had like a memory lobotomy and did not remember what had happened. And then suddenly it was, oh, poor Elfin, my dear sweet darling, I can't believe this big monstrous, Bring My Even Star made this video, this completely factual video on you. How dare she? Thank you, will be Pequeño. Also, I can't say more things than, journalists, because journalists, they need, they need witnesses. There's a lot of steps, like obstacles that they have to go through before they publish, and they can't really speak their mind as much. I voted her because I would talk about her because attention is what she wants. She calls you a drama tuber, and so am I, and Much and work have inspired me. She literally was like, I activate my victim card. My head. Anyway, let's continue the video. Yeah, yes, and she was like, how could you cover things that happened in the past? And I do that all the time, like I do retrospectives. It's always such groundless arguments that they have.
You're spreading shit about me suicide baiting? To you? I'm sorry, what? I think you making a drama video on me during a time I was constantly drunk and not in a stable mental state would obviously fuck me up. Like you call me Menhera all the time and don't expect me to somehow crash out?
Girl, you call yourself worse! Congrats on the vindication, Rima. Scroll all the hate, criticism, and backhanded compliments you get because of those Sims and from this VTuber. Thank you so much, Zippy Zap. Thank you for the super chat. Jeez, Rima, your definition and standards of journalism is higher than most actual journalists these days. Never change. I guess I'm thinking about like a newspaper journalist. I don't know these blog journalists or whatever, or these video game journalists, how they operate. I have no clue. I've never actually like... I don't want to be a journalist, so I haven't looked into that. I'd rather be like a writer, I think. Or like a... Is it what you call it? A pundit? Like somebody that's an expert in a topic and they go and talk about it? I think I'd rather be that. Yeah, she draws the line at Menhera, guys. That is so funny. Like, dude, the self-victimization is off the charts here.
I was still relatively civil and only DM'd you about my issues with your video, hoping to at least get facts straight. Believing in random people messaging you rather than the person at the center of the situation.
I DM'd you. What? I was relatively civil. You're the one trying to farm this on Twitter. And I hate when people use the... Why didn't she get the both sides of the argument thing? No. You don't have to do that. And even journalists don't do that. Let's say a journalist is covering a crime, okay? There was a robbery at a diamond store. They'll take, like, I don't know, a statement from the guy that got robbed. They're not gonna go ask the criminal, what are your thoughts about this? Why did you do this? Oh, well, it wasn't really a robbery. Like, I was actually just passing by. Why? So they can lie their ass out? Like, she wouldn't even have told me the truth. She's not a girlfriend. She's a woman tactless. Thank you for the 10. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't post a video about the evil toaster Doki unless I interviewed him. Or I couldn't post a video about, I don't know, just check any of my channel. It just makes no sense. These people's arguments make no sense. They just use these arguments when they want to shit on us. And there's no pushback, ever.
Situation is crazy. You do not hate journalists enough. In fact, this got so bad that when Rima posted the tweet announcing the video, it would get totally brigaded by Elfin's community. 102 replies, and all of them filled with insults, slurs, and an attempt to straight up character assassinate Rima, saying, wow, I used to watch your content, but not any.
Hold up. Hold up, that's interesting to see these names in here after what I've seen on Twitter today. That's actually so interesting. I remember the names, chat. I remember the name. Listen, you know me. You know me. I don't fight back unless people genuinely escalate it. Only Schizo pick fights with me, okay? I don't do nothing. This guy suddenly tweeting this, but it's crazy that I see him in a Muujin video in the comment section joining the dog pile, and now suddenly he's switched his tune now. Listen, I don't hold no grudge, whatever. But I just hope people remember this, okay? That's all I want. I just hope people remember this. That people pick fights with me. I don't pick fights with people. And if somebody's coming after me, it's probably because they're the one that have a few views missing, not me. I don't even have to lift a finger, and these people just burn themselves. I'm talking about Elfin Psyop right now. But yeah, like, they just, like, Elfin Psyop, she just outed herself. Like, I made the video, I did the correction or whatever, because I wanted to be as fair as I could, because I wanted to give her a chance. Probably shouldn't have in hindsight, but you know what? Whatever, it's a learning experience. And then I only spoke about her again when the new drama resurfaced, when she had that fight. And these people, I don't even have to say anything. They just out themselves in the end.
Anymore, wow, you're a terrible journalist, wow, you suck at what you do, etc., etc. That's simply because Elfin had replied to this post and ratioed Rima, doubling her likes, simply saying that she is not a femcel. But this still doesn't explain how she was able to survive a Google Doc like this. This doesn't explain why she didn't end up.
But she's not a femcel when she, like, we literally saw her tweeting about it.
Like Gunpei. What happened exactly? Well, here's what her diehard fans had to say in response to her reply on Rima's post. And it perfectly encapsulates why she still had a very strong community.
Someone actually pulled a Dissy on the Dark Enjoyer. This is exhausting. The Amnesia crowd makes me wonder how much of this was just bait to farm later reactions. Yeah, no, it's not. Dark Enjoy is not the only one. There was so many of like this. There's so many. I'm sure we'll see more. Yeah, she literally made a post about being a virgin, never having a boyfriend, and then she's like, I'm not a femcel. That's literally a femcel.
That kept growing. Look at this idiot. Hey, I'd just like to say that I'm naive and emotionally vulnerable and would be easily groomed. DM me sometime. What about this dumbass? I'd be honored to be one of your toys. Crazy they're spinning it as a forced or bad thing. Lol. So these men were so irrevocably castrated that they realized, hey, I don't like this woman because she's a virgin. No. I like her because she's a girl failure and because she might give me a chance. If she did it with 6 different guys at the same time, what's stopping me from DMing her and finding her in a call gooning with me? If anything, Average Bird Enjoyer's Google document backfired tremendously. It made Elfin Psyop seem way more reachable to the average viewer than they thought. So their whole fantasy, or should I say delusion, of trying to fix her, wifing her up, impregnating her, and prolonging the white race wasn't so far off. By this point, Elfin kept gaining followers, kept getting viral tweets, her community kept growing, she was making more money, and her viewership was doing better than ever. She had reached over 100,000 followers, something very impressive, especially for a VTuber, and by this point we could easily say that she was becoming very dangerous because in VTubing, there are so many desperate people trying to make a name for themselves that they'll see what works and try to copy it. And since things were going so well with Elfen, since she was totally invincible to any criticism or controversy, someone would end up noticing how well she was doing and try to copy her, even though they had way more followers and way more influence. Her and Elfen would end up becoming friends and then eventually enemies. Riri Gaki is a French rat VTuber who used to stream exclusively in French. Around 2024, she would start streaming more in English, and at some point, one clip from her stream would go
Her pajama's kind of cute though.
mega viral.
No, you don't get notifs for bookmarks, but you can see on your post that it got bookmarked. If you go back and you see it, yeah.
It went so viral that there's actually a good chance you saw this already. Watch.
Says their name. So here is Broccoli, who is fucking dumb. Look.
Oh
No,
my
I'm
god,
sorry.
she's so French! She's so French, her accent is so French, holy shit.
No brain, nothing. After we have here, Fruby, who is one of my cutest rats too. Look, she's a Rex girl. She got curly hair. She's really cute. It's Bean. Bean is my only boy, but he don't have a cocoon yet.
Oui, baguette.
All right, so you get the point. French girl talking about her rats, very cute, very adorable. Yeah, well, it would go mega viral. 384,000 likes on
wow.
Instagram. And guys, when it came
Oh my god. Oh my god. I never knew that.
to Twitter, 12.7 million views, 134,000 likes. It was practically on everyone's feed, and everyone was talking about it. If you told someone, hey, did you see the French rat girl? They'd say, yes, I saw it on my feed. It went mega viral. I'm not understating this.
12 million views? What?
She would then reply to this saying, hi, I'm Riri, a rat girl VTuber from France. You can follow me on Twitch or join my Discord if you want, link in bio, but be warned, I'm the most hated VTuber of all France. And guys, she was not kidding. When the French community saw her going viral, they were livid. They saw how
I did receive a lot of I received a lot of DMs from French people about making a video on her, but at the time I thought she was nice. I hadn't seen much of her. I saw that people were kind of framing her, fixing her webcam as a Nazi salute, and I thought people were just like dogpiling her and trying to frame her like out of context for some gotcha. Later on, more screenshots about her Discord surface that made it seem like she wasn't really kidding about a lot of like bad things that she said. But I don't know, she made a post today saying that she's reformed and she wants to change, so I mean, if that's the case, good for her. I was kind of cringe and edgy in the past. I'm not really proud, especially taking Elfin as an inspiration, but yeah, I'm happy that I realized that I was fucking up every up for clouds. I gathered the wrong community who were horrible and her only for racism and me being in a bad mentally state. Thank you a lot for talking about that. I have a lot of problems assuming myself. I'm not masking, so I often copy people that I like. It's lame and I know this, but I grew up like that, copying my friends to be sure I was not going to be hated / doing anything weird. I'm learning now to love myself and act as I am. I deserve everything that happened for putting myself in a bad environment, but I grew hope being a maybe kinder human and almost out of depression. Thank you for yapping about that and the wrong size of me. It's dumb, but seeing everything I did explain your way helped me a lot understanding what was wrong with me. Well, you know what? Good for you, Riri. Good for you if you take this as a learning opportunity and you want to change, you know? You do that. You do that, and I'm happy for you. But I also remember you, because I remember you being in the Elfin Psyop mention, also joining on the dog pile with as on me. And now suddenly you're switching your tune. Because Papa Mujin made a video. So I'm gonna remember that. I'm gonna take your word for it. Let's see how that evolves. We'll see. We'll see. Do horses have good memories, chat?
how viral she was going with the English-speaking community, and they did their best to show them who she truly was. This person, for example, would say, maybe because you're a lolicon and you think Hitler is cool and you're overly annoying, you force your voice to sound like a kid, your response to saying the N-word is I hate everyone equally, look at yourself stuttering in your own f***ass tweet. Okay, so very brief lore dump on this bitch because there's no information in English on her. She used to be known as Riri Meow, and her whole content revolved around porn. Still does, but it was worse then. She was retweeting lolliporn and had a Discord server with tons of minors, etc, etc. They'd also link some edgy tweets she made in the past, like top 5 reasons racism is bad, and then the next picture is thanks for watching, so implying that racism isn't bad. Here's the deal though. Riri's defense on Twitter would be, guys, French people doxed me. They sent police at my house. Yes, they swatted me, and they harassed me at
That's messed up, though. That's actually messed up.
IRL conventions. All for this, for my edgy jokes, for being a lolly. All of a sudden, French people looked evil, and it doesn't take much to convince someone that French people are evil, okay?
True!
Okay. The French would argue, well, look, there's these videos on YouTube that expose her. Go watch those things instead. Okay, cool. Here's a video titled The Worst French Streamer, Riri Gaki, with over 448,000 views. Oh, hey, here's another one saying The Worst French Streamer, Riri Meow, with over 245,000 views.
Shit, maybe I should have made that video.
I watched both of them in full, in the native language of French, and I can tell you right now, this is what they said in a nutshell. Number 1, she's edgy and she made Nazi jokes, okay? And number 2, she's a lolly. In fact, most of these 2 videos were criticizing her for being a lolly, that she was playing this childlike character, how she was speaking with a
I feel like I care less about that, the lolly part.
childlike voice, and how she was overall just cringe. But here's the deal. For the English-speaking community, this only proved one thing. French people, when it came to VTubing, were completely and utterly out of their depth. VTubing originated from Japan, and this whole lolicon culture originated from there too. For people who actually watched VTubers, it was totally normal. It doesn't matter if you think lolicons are weird, right? I mean, I think it's a very reasonable take to think that. But when your thumbnail is Riri Gaki with the word pedophile on top of it, you start losing a lot of people from your side. As time passed by, French people were seen as more and more unreasonable. This is not worth swatting over. This is not worth doxing over. You'd see pictures like this of a French person saying lolicon equals pedophile, with Riri Gaki quote tweeting saying, don't cry, I'm just a drawing.
Mujin's only L being French. No, you gotta censor the French word like it's a slur.
Typical drama you'd find in English-speaking communities too, and typically VTuber watchers would always defend someone like Riri, so they were totally out of their depth here. They'd keep trying to prove that she was problematic, showing her using GIFs saying, settle down, N-word hard R, and also showcasing how she had a role on her Discord called Rotten Waffen, a play on words on the Waffen SS, otherwise known as the Waffen Schutzstaffel, a division in the German army during World War II. Their efforts, again, proved ineffective, and the final straw would be when they would show this image of Riri when she was streaming with Facecam, apparently doing the, German salute from World War II. Well,
but I thought her explanation was her fixing the webcam.
Had Asmongold reacting to it, and he concluded, as well as others, that she was simply adjusting her webcam. Guys, you're trying way too hard to make her look bad. Come on. This was seen as so crazy in the English-speaking community that even Elfin went out of her way to defend her as she was being cancelled by French people. By this point, Riri Gaki was followed directly by Asmongold on Twitter, and she had the entire English-speaking community backing her up. She was treated horribly by the French community, but now she got given a second chance straight from the heavens. However, here's the problem. I don't know if it was the language barrier or just the fact that she's probably mentally ill, but Riri Gaki completely misunderstood what the second chance meant. She thought that she now could finally get away with anything. She could say anything, do anything, and she'd have a community here to back her up always. When in reality,
true, that webcam though, it's all the way to the left. Yeah, true. I mean, it didn't really change when I think about it, actually, but I don't know. I haven't really looked into it too much.
this wasn't the case at all. What actually happened was that she got a second chance, got a new community, and they were hoping that French people were exaggerating. They were hoping that she was going to genuinely redeem herself. And as you might have guessed, this could not have been further from the truth. Shortly after getting this incredible second chance, she would increase the racist and edgy rhetoric by 1000%, all while adding that to a cancerous cocktail of politics. Some guy would say, French quote-unquote people, the fuck is wrong with your country, Jesus? To which Riri Gaki would say, immigrant and African. Here's another tweet with a lot of views and a lot of likes. Saw a Jew for the first time in my life yesterday. I always thought they were all extinct. Here's her comparing
Jesus.
Nazis to trans people. I mean, with the only difference being the fact that one has impressive taste in clothing and the other one being promoted by the US government. She'd have a tweet saying, can I be
Okay.
called a white rat supremacist? I love white rat. And when Kanye West would say, I'm a you know what, she would quote tweet this with an image of an anime girl raising her hand. So as I said, she
I thought they took this stuff really seriously in France. Like, it's actually a crime to be anti-Semite. Semite?
completely misunderstood the very simple thing she had to do. Just keep talking about your rats, woman. Just keep being cute. But
Yeah.
no, she had over 130,000 followers at this point, and she was taking a page right out of Elfin Psyop's playbook.
That's Germany? No, but I remember back in the days that John Galliano got like, he lost everything. You know, he was the guy in charge of Dior. He lost everything because he got caught on camera saying some stuff against Jews.
The worst thing you can do. But hey, it seemed like they were getting along very nicely.
never came
Ririgaki
back.
would say, can you teach me how to be cute, please? And Elfin would reply with, but you're already so kawaii desu. It seemed like the 100,000 castrated men who followed Elfin just had another girl failure join the mix.
You're a good person, Rima. You will always end up on top. Keep it up. I'm glad you're not French. French censored as a slur. Yeah, I mean, so I think when I was getting those requests to do videos on her back then, I was at the beginning, and I thought again like that people were being unreasonable because it's just because of the lolly stuff and stuff. And what Mujin showed here, that's not even the worst that I've seen of her. I've seen a lot worse going on in her Discord channel.
And they were getting along. Not only did they increase their odds of maybe fixing another woman and marrying her too, but now maybe they could look forward to them collabing together, right? Oh my god, isn't that awesome? Well, I'm sure it would have been. But then some people decided to dig into Ririgaki's past when she used to be Riri Meow and produced adult content. Now look, let's get one thing straight. Riri never produced any explicit content. It was mostly centered around thighs and feet. And while yes, this was enough for people to call her a whore and all sorts of things, this is simply who she used to be. And for the most part, I mean, people loved it. Oh my god, a girl failure and making stuff like this? It's like Elfin posting her tummy. What else do you want? But as these castrated guys were looking through her different images, they noticed something interesting, particularly in one image set of 3 images. You see, she'd have a photo set where she wore non-matching thigh highs.
Okay.
Everything looked normal.
Yeah.
Right on this picture, on the other picture, until you got to the 3rd picture, in which we can very
Wait!
clearly see a black guy's hand grabbing her left thigh. Now look, normally this wouldn't be an issue. I would hope that it's never an issue. But saying that Ririgaki would tweet out every other day how France
Male!
and Paris is getting ruined by immigrants, and more specifically Africans, her new, let's say, community wasn't too happy about this. In fact, they were furious. It seemed like no matter how much Ririgaki disliked African immigrants, she still couldn't resist the BBC. I mean, this is just so funny to me. It was treated like this.
He actually said BBC. No, I can't. Okay, so it's not just the fact that he was male, it's the fact that he's black. And I guess they're racist, so. Why is the wiki in French? He did not stutter. It took me a while to fucking catch it. That is such a wild statement.
Leak, this thing that no one could have ever predicted, when in reality on her own wiki page, you can see that in 2023, she made some guy called Euro, who happened to be a VTuber, her boyfriend. And when you checked out his model, his model was black. But no, it was a betrayal. How dare she? And she
So it was out there.
suffered the wrath of her own community. She had pretty much stabbed
Okay. I get it now. Wait. Is that why? Is that why now she's reforming? Because she has like no choice but to reform? Is that why? Or is it genuine? I hope it's genuine. I hope it's genuine, Riri. Hope you grow out of it. And I hope you get a fan base that actually loves you for who you are.
herself with a knife she forged herself. It was official. She was a grifter, someone who didn't believe in anything she was saying and was only doing it purely for her own benefit. Someone would say, if you can't see the grift in tweeting racist shit, then race mixing all while hating immigrants.
Wait, Ivanito reacted to the BBC part. Is it a clip? Mujin responded to it? Funny. Ask you
I don't know what to tell you. To which she would say, bro thinks all French people are all white like snow, lol, we have an island. Actually, the French have multiple islands, like Corsica, Guadeloupe, République, but this didn't matter at all in the grand scheme of things. As she was getting attacked pretty much daily at this point with her own community turning against her, she would try to quell the flames by becoming even more edgy somehow.
She's like, oh, quick, I'm in a controversy right now. I gotta say something. Quick, I gotta distract them. Let me tweet about being lolly Hitler. What the hell? Where are we living? Can we just delete social media? I know I say this every video. And you guys on my highlight channel, you've heard me say it in my last video too, but yeah.
And saying, next cosplay I'm doing, lolly Hitler.
I'm
this would
dead,
prove to be nothing
dude.
more than a pathetic attempt at recovering the community that was turning
Yeah.
on her, because very
Yeah.
shortly afterwards, she would get suspended from Twitter by mass reporters who just so happened to be people who were pissed that she was dating a black guy. And the cherry on top would be her also
That's crazy that they draw the line at that.
getting suspended from Twitch. In her own Discord, she'd say, hi, I got banned from Twitter and Twitch again because of a big campaign of harassment and cancel culture. I did a tweet on my alt account if you want to RT, I don't know what. I'm tired. I really hope to die. Here we go with the baiting again. I don't know. I don't want to let my haters win, but I'm really too tired. 4 years of all this is too much. You can follow my new account if you want, linking her Clips account and saying, I don't know if I'll be back one day. I'm really tired. She would then post a statement on that account saying, if you didn't see it, my main account was mass reported from Twitter haters because some of them believe that I'm a Nazi and the others are mad that I'm not racist. I love it. Seeing people this mad and obsessed by a little rap girl proves to me that I'm really the only person here. You are part of the problem if you think that everybody I don't like is Hitler. Being racist is good, or VTuber shouldn't have a boyfriend. I'm going to take a little break from Twitter while waiting for my appeal to be accepted. Thank you all for the support. I love you a lot. I have an incredible community and lots of kind people who support me. I'm never going to kneel down in front of horrible humans, and I'm never going to let them cancel me. Cancel culture is dead and exists only for insecure people. I'm still going to stream on Twitch and YouTube and be active on Instagram and Discord. Your support means the world to me. Keep making extremist people pissed off and laugh at them. We are stronger than hate. And remember, vive la résistance. Rats live matter and are stronger than evil humans. Signed, Riri.
Oh my god, Mujin said that's so French, but also like... Hold up, I need my... Where's my meme folders? Riri, I'm sorry, but your victim card has unfortunately been declined. We're over the limit. You do not get to play victim on this. You brought this upon yourself. And wait. Is the fight between her and Elfin? That's after that. That's crazy that she posted that, and then later, when she was having that showdown versus Elfin, she was like, no, I'm the real Nazi. No, I'm the real Nazi. What do you mean? I thought of a clip of Michi talking about scratching her imaginary balls was going to be the most absurd thing I heard today. This may beat it. Yeah, that was low on the bar.
So look, in the end, this was a desperate attempt at trying to recoup a community that hated her guts at this point. After getting that incredible second chance with a mega viral clip, she spent all that time nurturing a racist community. People who disliked immigrants and minorities, and it turned out she had a black boyfriend. Her initial haters felt vindicated and her own community now turned on her. You couldn't really feel sorry for her, right? But throughout all this, her friend, Elfin, who was also another girl failure like her, and who had initially defended her when the French people were attacking her, what did she have to say by now? Would she show up for her?
Oh,
Defend her,
yes,
help her?
yes, that's where it's happening. That's it.
like a real friend would? Nope. She would also turn on her, because the girl failures would have a falling out that would make its way to the public battlefield. So as I said before, Elfin was someone who had defended Riri initially when she was getting the backlash after going mega viral. They would have some positive interactions here and there, but shortly after Average Bird Enjoyer's document would drop on Elfin, Riri Gaki would say, "Is this Gunpei 2.0? Someone would reply saying, "Please, Rat Girl, you're my last hope for a based petite girl failure indie VTuber. Don't e-date fans unless it's me, LMAO. God, I can puke in my fucking mouth." To which she would say, "I'm not gonna e-date a fan. I have a boyfriend and I'm just a pet rat for you." So this was essentially Riri Gaki trying to capitalize.
I think I need my next VTuber rig to be able to portray the disgust that I have on my face at times, because right now my model's all cute and stuff. Like she looks happy, but my face is like, ugh, what am I watching? Like I just bit into a lemon.
On the fact that Elfin was potentially going to lose her career because of this document. She was taking the moral high ground, trying to steal any viewers she can from Elfin because she was trying to become her. This is when Elfin would start to subtweet her, not calling her directly just yet, saying the amount of e-holes rebranding to be girl failures, please bro, you do porn. You sell literal porn of yourself. Just go be some slutty cat girl or something. This is of course referring to Riri Gaki, how in the past she had a fansly and how—
Okay, but Elfin also did goon videos where she was with a vibrator.
now she rebranded as being a girl failure. When it came to her parasocial Discord though, she was way more straightforward. Someone would say Riri is nice though, to which she would reply, "I can't say this in good conscience when she blatantly called me Gunpei when my controversy happened. I can't forget that shit, lol." How dare she call me Gunpei when I'm way worse than her? Like, how dare she when I'm literally worse than her in every way? The main confrontation between these two girl failures would occur when Elfin would post this tweet, with her character saying, "Hey guys," someone saying "femcel," to which her character would say, "Not what I'm called." Shortly afterwards, Riri Gaki would also use that same exact meme format, saying, "Hey guys," with someone saying, "Not me," to which Riri would say, "Not what I'm called." Elfin at this point would be furious. How dare she copy me? So she would quote tweet this and say, "You guys are all over her. How can she be a Nazi when she has a black boyfriend? Y'all need to do research."
Wait. Is she defending her here, or is she like throwing a pot shot at her? What the fuck? I think she's attacking her here. That's crazy. What? That's crazy, chat. That is wild. It's okay, racist, as long as I can still enjoy the BBC, Riri, probably. Oh my god. Yeah, she's attacking her for not being a Nazi. Guys, she's a fake Nazi. She has a black boyfriend. Y'all need to do research. She really loves that line, by the way, the "y'all need to do research." She used it when the document came out against her, when my video came out against her, and then this.
This was Elfin declaring war. She saw that her community was turning on her because she had a black boyfriend, so she was also looking to capitalize. However, Elfin was about to fight a war on two fronts. She was going up against Riri Gaki, while at the same time having a demon from her past catch up to her, 4chan. You see, she was an active 4chan user ever since she was a young kid. Yes, I know, what a terrible fate. And 4chan would catch on to her. They'd understand exactly who she used to be and would start revealing some details.
Kids should not be allowed on the internet. They should be in the mines. I've already said it before.
About her real identity, the fact that she is a Pakistani who's studying in the UK. Now look, this was a very big deal, okay? Elfin Saab's entire personality was centered around appealing to the cringe white supremacist who never leaves his home. She would also heavily imply, as you saw in her belly pics that she shared online, she seemed white, and that's exactly what she was selling to her.
Nah, she was LARPing as a Slavic, and I'm not just a huge Russia boo. She was nowhere near anything of those ethnicity.
Audience, the fact that she's white and even Slavic. At some point she would say, I say niet a lot, which means no, and people ask me if I'm Slavic on stream. I'm not, I'm just a huge Russia boo. So she posted pictures of her belly and she seemed white. She also was really into Russian culture, I guess, and Russian language.
What, so she like edited her photos or what?
People assumed she was maybe Eastern European. In fact, her accent sounded pretty American. Some people would think she's American and she would never really correct them. So seeing that she despised immigrants and any minorities for that matter, her being Pakistani would be a death sentence. But this rumor wasn't new. It was being shared on 4chan as early as mid-2024. It would start to really catch up to her and irritate her in 2025 though, specifically during the summer. This is when, for the first time, she would start being confronted like
This betrayal would be like Rima the horse girl choosing to read the Cowman milking book over playing the horse girl racing game. Uma Muslim is great, Blake. Thank you for the super chat.
on stream by chatters who were asking her, are you really Pakistani? And she would get very triggered at that. Watch.
Pretending to be white? I don't think I need to pretend. I think I am.
Here's another clip.
You can't think you're white. What? Do you have body dysmorphia?
Pakis aren't white. You are so retarded, dude. That's actually insane. Do you realize how ethnicities work?
No, I don't think you realize how ethnicities work, actually. You're manifesting your own ethnicity. She's manifesting it, chat. She identifies as white. She's spiritually white. No, I can't believe she said, oh my god.
Do you realize how ethnicities work? Or maybe you don't. Genuine question. Aren't you a Paki living in the UK? Who are you to complain? Did you get that from 4chan?
So here we are. She was starting to realize where these people were getting their information from. Wait, did you get this from 4chan? The website that she kept flexing that she had used ever since she was 13? Interesting. By early 2025, many pictures of Elfin's face would somehow find themselves on the internet. So she'd tweet out in May 2025, I've been face doxed and harassed so much now, so here, this is me. Yup, now what? LMFAO, it don't even matter, man, no more. Now this image is actually very important. It would of course get deleted later. She would draw some clown makeup on her face in Microsoft Paint, right? I can tell you right now, this clown nose is doing a lot of heavy lifting because it would have very easily exposed her ethnicity.
No
Additionally,
way.
It doesn't take a genius to understand that this image is blown the fuck out. Look at that hand. It is blinding. Almost as if she completely upped the levels in Photoshop in an effort to appear white.
What?
Something would really crack in Elfin starting summer 2025, okay?
Wait, is that the actual Nazi VTuber? Not Shizumiku? Is that her name? Oh no! It's that thread! No! I'm getting Vietnam flashbacks! No, no, no!
This is when she would up the edginess to yet a new level. And so whenever someone criticized her or called her a Pakistani or said that they had proof, she would just call them a Jew. And it would work because her community hated Jews. This would work almost.
Dude, why Tisafaldi? This is so dumb. Oh my god.
Almost every single time. They'd eat it up. They would love it. And she would get away with it. However, as her rivalry with Ririgaki would start really heating up, Ririgaki would say this. I love how she was trying to cancel me saying I was dating an immigrant, black/Indian/Arabic boy, while pretending to be white. Lol. To which Elfin would say, why are you so obsessed with me, man? Now I was getting serious. Look, Ririgaki, as much as she was hated for dating a black guy, she still held influence in the—
That is such a wide range. Damn. Like, that, what a wide range of ethnicity. Is it just because she didn't really want to say what he is?
The whole girl failure aesthetic club. Shared many followers in common with Elfin, this 100,000 bundle of castrated men, and so her saying what many have been saying already was a genuine threat. This drama started really heating up around November 2025, to which Ririgaki would say, Please stop thinking of me as a girl failure, guys, it's exhausting. I did learn to take care of me. I go outside a lot now. I have a lot of passion and love for nature and cool subjects like aircraft or insects. I really like myself and take care of me. I did reduce my alcohol drinking to 0. I'm fucking proud to be alive and my depression is going away. Please understand that and stop seeing me as a 4chan weirdo or a girl who is mentally ill and drama post / talk about political toxic subject, obsessed with skin color or not jokes. It makes me really sad. I'm getting better and becoming a cool person now that my life is comfy. Yes, I like edgy humor and I don't care about humans or minorities, but I'm a responsible adult, not a failure or an
Oh yes, I remember this. I remember this line, and I don't care about humans or minorities. What did she mean by this? What I was gonna say, oh, that's a wholesome post, you know. Oh, she's good for you, Riri. You know, it's okay. Your past is your past. It doesn't define your future. If you decide to become a new person tomorrow, you can do it. And then it took a complete left turn with the last sentence, and it's just screwed. It's just not screwed. It's like punched in between two other like somewhat wholesome sentences. So you almost like skip over it. It's like, I'm getting better and become a cool person now that my life is comfy. Yes, I like edgy humor and I don't care about humans or minorities, but I'm a responsible adult, not a failure, anything else. I'm just Riri. Ooh, woo. What the fuck, dude? This is so funny. VTuber Uncle Ruckus. I don't get that ref, not gonna lie. Yeah, I robbed the bank yesterday, but I'm reformed now. I will go rob the homeless now. Bye-bye.
anything else. I'm just Riri. Someone would reply with, that's literally the audience you wanted and even commissioned yourself as a Nazi or girl failure, a loser. Did the elfin grift not work? To which Riri would say, yeah, Nazi uniform are really pretty. It's like talking to a wall. This tweet was definitely very interesting and a bit out of touch. I mean, what have you been doing the past year? She's practically begging everyone to stop thinking of her as a girl failure when she only had herself to blame. She was the one who was intentionally acting that way. Elfin would quote tweet that tweet and say, I'm so fucking confused about this woman, I swear. Wasn't OnlyFans catgirl VTuber. Starts following me, completely changes design to look like mine. Suddenly became an alcoholic, quote unquote. Starts copying my tweets 1-to-1. This is not an exaggeration, by the way. Okay, the tweets would be very, very similar. Before discovering
That's crazy that she took her as an inspiration.
Elfin, Riri literally had no idea what gooning meant. And there she was all of a sudden every couple of days tweeting, yeah, I need to goon. I need to go goon. I goon too much. This was literally Elfin's entire personality. And there she was emulating it perfectly. Elfin would continue, I DM her about it, say I'm uncomfortable about it. She says, oh my god, sorry, you're my biggest inspiration. We make amends and move on. I support her when she gets into a big drama. When I get into drama, calls me Gunpei 2.0 instead of DMing me and asking me what's up. So-called friend, am I right? I get pissed at this and stop talking to her. Copies me further, almost all my jokes, all my edgy humor, oh my god guys, I'm so gross and gooner and girl failure and edgy, and posts not shit constantly. Where did all this suddenly come from, bro? A few months pass, now she says, oh my god, I'm healthy, I don't drink anymore, and I go outside, I'm not a Nazi, guys. Basically, we should forget the past few months happened entirely? Literally attacks me out of nowhere, saying I accused her for having a black boyfriend. I don't care about your boyfriend's race, man. I don't care about you, dude. Can you leave me alone and maybe try to be more creative? You don't get pity points because people attack you online. You literally did it to yourself. I'm edgy and I know people will dislike me for it. I've been like this since day one. You started being like this after following me. Please learn.
Wait, hold up. But later on, you tweeted at me saying you weren't edgy. That you actually meant it. So which one is it? Which one is it?
Be yourself and stop attacking people for no reason. Thanks. So look, Elfin was definitely
Like, I love the be more creative, please. Be more creative, please. Being a Nazi is my persona. Get your own personality, okay? Okay, Riri? Please. Come on. Like, what? The stolen valor. The stolen valor is so fun. Like, I can't. This is so... It's absurd. It's absurd.
making some good points here. Yes, it is true. Riri definitely started acting like her after following her. That's a fact. It seemed like Ririgaki's intent from the get-go was stealing as many viewers as she could from her, and when she saw that Elfin was potentially going to lose her career, she didn't try to defend her. She tried to make her move and call her Gunpei 2.0. However, it's not like Elfin wasn't doing the exact same thing. Look at this sentence near the end. I'm edgy and I know people will dislike me for it.
Dude, that's so funny like the Chinese kung fu movies where the master and his student become enemies and finally fight in the climax. That's a good one. That's a good one, bro. You cooked there. Yeah, racist girl failure stolen valor is crazy. Amazing.
Been like this since day one. Again, this whole idea that, guys, I'm real, I'm authentic. In fact, Elfin would go as far as saying on her stream that Riri Gaki was a very rare example of a true grifter. In her opinion, the word is overused. Not everyone's a grifter, but Riri was. This was her implying, of course, that she was a real girl failure. She was actually proudly alcoholic. Everything about her was totally authentic. And hey, to be
I guess you can say Elfin lied. Yeah, I guess. Quite a few times.
fair, it worked. After Elfin would make her post about Riri, someone would confront Riri asking her, yo, what's up? Like, what happened with Elfin? Here's what she'd say in her Discord. She tried a lot in the past to get me cancelled on Twitter and can't stop talking about how I stole her identity because I have a similar humor, /black hair, /loves alcohol, /depressed. Dude, imagine making that your entire personality and being mad that someone stole it. Dude, who are these people? Anyway, she would continue, cannot stand her. I did try to be her friend, but cannot stand girls sending nudes to 6 persons at the same time while trying to proclaim that she doesn't have a boyfriend, is white, and is not a whore all the time because she doesn't want to lose her community. She is not honest, and she is just another gimmick like she says. Now, to be fair, even Riri had made good points here, right? But it's like, both of these people are so unlikable, you don't really care about taking sides, do you?
True.
However,
let them fight. Competition for racism's kind of wild, not gonna lie.
even with all that being said, the next day, Riri would make yet another post on her Twitter. Her alt account, of course, because her main one got permanently suspended, her appeal failed. She'd say, I would like to apologize for all the people following me because I was looking and acting like a based, edgy girl failure. I know the drastic change of me getting mentally better and stopping to act like a loser can be deceiving for a lot of you, and I understand if you stop following me, but I cannot keep going like that. Sorry for looking fake. I never lied about my depression or my daily difficulty like my alcohol consummation. I don't think she even bothered translating this, bro. Consommation, that's literally a French word, but yeah, her alcohol consumption. Secondly, I would like to apologize to @Elfin Psyop. I have her blocked because I don't want toxicity in my feed and don't appreciate her as a person, but I feel like it's still important to talk about that. I found Elfin's content when I was at my lowest after all the harassment from the French community, and instead of being a better person or learning to love myself, I ended up stealing and copying some of her gimmick, like she called it. This is not correct and not what a content creator should do. I did tweet like her and used to do the same content on Twitter as her to be accepted and seen by people having cool humor, things that do not exist in France, but I'm not proud of that, and I would like to have learned sooner that I should just be myself instead of wanting some attention on the internet while copying somebody's gimmick. I'm sorry, Elfin, for all of that, and for not talking gently about you publicly after having your help. I hope one day you have the chance to get better and go away from all the toxicity that Twitter and other social media are spreading. I understand that you see me as a LARPer or a grifter, but my political beliefs were never fake. I live in a dangerous country because of immigration and multiple other things.
Okay.
I just ended up basing my content only on that and edgy jokes to pander to these types of people when I'm in fact just a normal autistic woman who just want to share her hobbies. I'm not gonna lie, but I see myself as a LARPer. I also want to talk to you about the black boyfriend controversy.
What?
I know a lot of my past fans were following me because of all this LARPing. I understand your sadness when you learn about the VTuber that you considered as based having what you thought was a black immigrant boyfriend.
Dude, having to apologize for having a black boyfriend is crazy.
I don't like saying that, but dating an immigrant or a black male is not something I would be able to do. I did date for 2 years in the past a brown/tan
Wait, she said that's not something she would be able to do?
French male. This always was public since I was always streaming with him. Guys, don't worry, he wasn't black, he was just brown. Like, dude.
What? But I thought once you go black, you never go back. Isn't that the saying? She draws the line there at brown/tan. She had to add tan. Just a few shades lighter. She's like, she has to make that distinction because in her head that's better. Or for her fan base. Oh, that's... Wow. Do you know, like, you could try to make fiction that's funnier than that, and you wouldn't be even able to. You would never be able to think of these things on your own.
After all this LARPing, I think this is normal and my own fault that I ended up in a situation where I get harassed by my old fan base. Sadly, you were just following me for the based girl failure thing and not even to look after my content or stream since you did not know about my ex-boyfriend. This makes me really sad that all this love was fake, but this is again my own fault for acting like that. I'm deeply thankful to all the rat bros believing in me and understanding my word. You are the reason why today I can be this better person. Thanks to all the people who still love me and not just my toxic past, I love you. So first off, I just want to point out how she was talking about this like it happened in the past. Bro, this literally happened like 2 months ago, you know? Like there was barely any time between the old account and the new account. But hey, you know what? A surprising amount of self-awareness in this post. She pretty much admitted she was a LARPer. That's because she was. She was a LARPer and she was a grifter. Pretty much the same thing. But of course, this post wouldn't even get half the engagement she used to get when she would say, BRB going to my room to goon. But hey, it seems like some people stuck around for the rats and whatever. Most people who followed her for being a girl failure already left anyway when they found out she had a black boyfriend. Elfin would yet again make another post after this one.
She's really gonna put the BBC into her own tweet, isn't she? Oh, man. Oh, yeah, it would still work as the BBC.
This time saying, I don't own the girl failure aesthetic, okay? It didn't matter to me as much when Riri was outright copying my tweets, word for word, just twisted to look more French. That made me feel weird. Any joke I made or content idea was being copied. I felt like I couldn't do anything original anymore, and I care about novelty more than anything. Yes, we know that, Elfin. You're not like the other girls, right?
Yeah.
To be fair, a lot of people here thinking we used to be friends aren't exactly wrong. I genuinely thought we made up and were good friends until I found out how she talks about me behind my back. I genuinely tried, man. Anyone that knows me knows that I'm super mean usually, and she was kind back and said I was her biggest inspiration. I've dealt with mean girls all of my high school, man. I've had many bullies and fake friends. To me, this greatly resembled the fake friend trope. So I don't like this defamation if Elfin is so toxic. I only copied her because I'm autistic and just want to make content. I'm sorry if you go through stuff, but you're an adult actively making choices every day. You had the choice to just be friendly with me. She would then congratulate Riri on being less depressed and getting rid of alcohol and end this by saying, but please, if you truly were someone who understood what it's like to be someone who had a problem with those things, stop shitting on me for being a girl failure alcoholic now that you're better. Trust me, I don't choose to feel depressed all the time. So again, you know, I'm a victim, guys. I've been bullied all my life. You know, I'm a girl failure. I'm a real girl failure, okay? Stop pretending that you are real. Trust me, I don't choose to feel depressed all the time, okay? I'm authentic. But my favorite part is when she says, I'm sorry if you go through stuff, but you're an adult actively making choices every day.
That's crazy. Did she actually start drinking to copy Elfin? I don't know. That's a crazy thing. That's a crazy reason to start drinking for. Ugh.
Because that's literally what people were telling.
And also, I'll add that, like, if you have to keep repeating that you're not like the other girl, that you're gonna change, I don't, like, why state that you want to change? Just be the change. Just act the change. I feel like actions should come before words, not the other way around. Words without action, for me, are meaningless. They are worthless.
Elfin when she got exposed as having been gooning to 6 guys at the same.
And also, if you're gonna start drinking because of somebody, like, start drinking because you want to be like Zorro or something, not like Elfin, bro. Get some better role models.
Time. Look, overall, this was nothing more than 2 very disliked monkeys fighting. But if we step back and looked at the bigger picture,
wait,
this situation
that's Reiko! That's our boy, Reiko! I didn't know you posted this meme.
Would go from a clown show to something very alarming. As you saw, Elfin was practically invincible. Riri took heavy inspiration from her seeing how much success she was finding as being a girl failure, and even though she had more followers and had way more virality, she still proceeded to copy her directly. Elfin was starting to become not just a danger to herself or to her fans, but to everyone in the VTubing community as a whole. Being a girl failure should never be something that's encouraged. It's not a good thing. It's not meant to be a good thing. And yet her success was encouraging others to follow her lead. I mean, why wouldn't they? If saying racist slurs wasn't going to get her canceled, if having a secret boyfriend wasn't going to get her canceled, if having 6 different guys you're gooning to at the same time wasn't going to get her canceled, then the $1 million question was, what will? Well, what would end up canceling Elfin Psyop, the person who had pretty much nurtured 100,000 castrated men who identified as white supremacists, would be the day that she was finally exposed as a Pakistani.
Here we go! What a good lead up to that moment where he does a little recap. If this didn't cancel her, and then he's like, what would, and then he leads into that. That is great storytelling there. Like, honestly, really great video. 200. Thank you so much for the 200. The amount of mental gymnastics being presented is enough to start the Olympics. That is true. So what is the Nazi kryptonite, guys? I guess we're about to find out.
So, as I had already mentioned, Elfin's tweets would start to take a turn during the summer of 2025. Her edginess wouldn't just be for the sake of being edgy anymore. She would take on a sort of political rhetoric that you would maybe find during a Nick Fuentes stream. Look at this tweet, for example. Don't understand how you can live in this modern world and see all the bad shit happening and not immediately connect the dots and see that it's Jewish influence. So now,
And Nuxtaku is behind all of it.
Jews were responsible for everything. How about this tweet made a little while later saying, I love astronomy so much and I love stargazing, but I can't because there's too many immigrants in the UK and it scares me to go outside alone.
Dude,
as far as anyone was
crazy.
concerned, she wasn't even British. She wasn't from the UK, right? But there she was taking a political stance for a country that she doesn't even belong to. This tweet in particular will become way funnier later. You'll get why. But
Well, I thought she was in the UK.
it wasn't just political rhetoric that was taking hold of her edginess. It was her edginess itself that was taking a whole
What?
other level.
What is this tweet?
For example, with her posting this image of her model saying, R word my model, then replying, sorry guys, I meant R word with an asterisk. The joke here is that she wasn't correcting herself, she actually meant
Oh,
it. She'd also
God.
make a conscious effort to play into the jokes and controversies that were made about her. Look at this tweet, for example. Groomer this, groomer that, come here, let me groom you. This was in reference to the Google Doc that was dropped about her, in which 6 men that were in their 20s said that she groomed them. At some point, she'd post a selfie that would get a lot of likes, of course, with her nose and mouth blurred because it would show her ethnicity, and had the caption, Elfin Brownop. This was her playing into the joke that some people were starting to call her Pakistani. So look, by now, it might be obvious what she's trying to do. She was being heavily criticized when it came to her actions by the wider VTuber community, and yet, her own community also had criticisms relating to the fact that she might just be Pakistani. This was her attempting to play into the joke while also raising the bar for her edginess, hoping that it'll kind of insulate her from criticism. This desperate
Right.
attempt of trying to move on from the fact that she might just be an immigrant and trying
Not a big fan of Indians, just straight up like this. Okay. Goodbye monetization. Oh yeah, it's definitely gone from this stream, so thank you for your super chat.
to move on from her controversies would result in some pretty embarrassing moments like her public crash out during the summer of 2025 when she would begin by saying, not a big fan of Indians. Someone would reply with, do not do this, you don't have to right-wing grift. This is probably someone who found her character and liked the design or just liked the belly pic. This is when she'd completely and totally crash out. Grift question mark? Someone would say, you're so brave and definitely not a pick-me who tries too hard to look based. To which
Yeah,
she would
true.
say, uh-oh, the big pick-me word, I'm so scared, please don't use it. Funny when I voice my unfiltered opinions, I'll get random retards saying, oh my god, pick me, oh my god, grifter. You realize when I say shit like that, I lose and filter more people rather than gain, right? I'd rather have people know what I think about shit than just follow me for cute tummy pics, expecting a wholesome person, kek. Funny enough, my opinions have remained the same since I was 14 on major social issues. I think I'm pretty consistent with my mentality on things. It's so funny to me how she thought this was a flex. That same person, snot-nosed swagger, would call her out and say, so you have the same opinions as a 14-year-old? Wow! And then he'd get blocked. She couldn't handle it. She crashed out and she just couldn't handle it anymore. The crash out.
She's like, listen, I was racist since I was 14, okay?
And weird behavior wouldn't be constricted to just Twitter, though. It would also happen in her Discord. She starts saying things that were definitely out of place. I mean, they were fairly random, right? For someone who was maybe Slavic or American, saying things like, Northern Pakistan is entirely Aryan. No one seems to understand that. Pretty suspicious thing to say when you're not Pakistani. All of a sudden, this was very different from the rhetoric she was taking about immigrants and Pakistanis in general when it came to the UK. She used to tweet things like, if leftists think some girl on the internet is a pedophile for posting petite girls that look like her on the internet, then why do they promote immigration that bring in Muslim, pedophile, and racists curious. This is really funny when you consider the fact that some of the biggest Muslim immigrants to the UK are Pakistani, right? You see where I'm going with this? All of a sudden,
I see.
when the pressure was mounting on Elfin and it seemed like it was inevitable that she was going to be revealed as Pakistani, she started shifting the blame from Muslims to the Jews, saying things like, oh, the reason why all the Muslims are coming to Europe was because Jews want to destroy society. She'd also suspiciously start
What?
saying things like this. I'm not gonna lie, Muslims got one thing right, and it's that pigs are filthy animals. No nutritional value and so much fat relative to beef and chicken, not even enough protein. Pork sucks in general, bacon is good sometimes, but bacon in the UK is terrible. Oddly suspicious to say this. This isn't edgy or based. This sounds like someone who's guilty. And that's because she was. Look, if
Oh my god. But it's crazy how much racism has become like accepted in the past few years. Did you know pigs can't look at the sky? No, we're not bringing back this short. Okay, I'll show you guys the pig short after the video if you guys want. It's a good one.
eventually, it was very hard to deny this. 4chan was after her ass, and they were revealing the fact that she used to be on 4chan when she was younger. There are threads dating back to as far as 2021 where they were referring to her as someone who was very attractive and was peak wife material. They'd be calling her their ideal crush, their ideal wife when she was a minor, mind you. And one of those people complimenting her would say, lives in Pakistan. Additionally, what didn't help was that her name was doxed, and it was painfully Arabic. Pakistan is a Muslim country that's heavily influenced by Muslim culture, so of course they have a lot of
If you ever go crazy, don't go full elfin. Never go full elfin, bro. Wait, I feel like I have to read this. The first one I added from here, I think her name's, and then it's redacted. Fuck you. This name is peak wife material. Explain to me how wanting a cute tomboy wife is gay. She has been... See, I don't understand what this is. Redacted. Guys regularly long before becoming elfin on places like R9K and SOC. Some posts dating back to early as mid 2021. In just the archives, making her underage at the time. Oh, that's why she made that tweet later on, probably. I can't believe she hates pigs. Bacon is so good. Ham is good. And what else is made from pork? Pork chops.
Arab names.
Oh, it's sexting. Oh.
At this point, it was simply undeniable no matter how much she wanted it to not be true. So around the
Oh, pulled pork. You know what? Pulled pork is an easy recipe that I could try. Oh, I love pepperoni. Pepperoni. Yeah, did I sound like Mario when I said that?
end of December 2025, she would admit to her Discord, yes, I'm Pakistani, but I promise I'm only half Pakistani. People would start hating on her, and of course she'd do what
prosciutto. I don't buy some anymore because like I love cold meats. I love cold meats, but it's really bad for the heart. It's really bad for your health apparently, so I try to like not buy so much anymore because I will literally eat them in one sitting. You sound like Luigi. Why does everybody say I sound like Luigi when I ask if I sound like Mario? Fuck you. Luigi's the lame brother. I should be like Dark Mario. Like evil Mario, like Shadow Mario. You know, like how there's a Shadow Sonic? I should be Shadow Mario. Waluigi. You take that back. So Wario. Yeah, but Wario's like, I don't know, he's not that cool. But he has a mansion. Hold up. Hold up. I might be getting convinced here. Luigi's the better brother? Dude, you guys really hate that I disrespected Luigi. Oh, Luigi's mentioned. Luigi has a mention, not Wario. Okay. Wario's rich as fuck too? Of course he is. He's evil. I can't be Wario. Why can't I be Wario? But I can be Waluigi? Hold up. There's an evil Mario version and there's an evil Luigi version called Waluigi. I thought they were the same person. Well, this whole time I thought Wario and Waluigi was the same person, but it's like two different ways of saying it. Thank you for the 20. Nicomia, thank you. Luigi is taller and can jump higher. No, because Mario can do the 3 jump thing and then fly, like in Super Mario 64. I can't believe you treat my chat Luigi like this. Hashtag Rima is no longer my Yoshi. Luigi's tall and skinny. Rima, no, they are not. Okay, we need a Mario education stream probably. Yeah. Anyways, my favorite character has always been Yoshi, okay? So I don't care about all these guys. Yoshi's the GOAT. And I'm a Yoshi main forever and ever. Mods, time out, Rima. Do the research and make a vid. Yoshi. No Yoshi Yaoi. There's no way Yoshi Yaoi exists. Horse Girl likes the equivalent of horses in Mario. You're not worthy of Luigi. Holy shit, you guys are so mad I slandered Luigi. Yoshi Yaoi exists? I'm sure it does. There's Yaoi that exists from like the Roland poem. That's a medieval poem that was written in the 10th century. It's like not even in an English I could understand. And there's Yaoi of that. Like there's literally Yaoi of this. No, there's no Yoshi Yaoi in my search history, and I'm not showing you guys my search history.
She did best, suicide bait, saying, whatever dude, stop hating me because I'm a halfie, fuck, I'm gonna kill myself now. Someone would say, I miss when I thought Elf was white, the hand reveal ruined everything. Then she would say, Jesus, okay, leave then, asshole.
That's such a great, like, I miss when I thought Elf was white, the hand reveal ruined everything. What the hell, dude? Could you, Auntie? How could you say that about Luigi? Rima looking at Mpreg Yoshi art. No, I'm not actually into Mpreg. Yeah, I make jokes about Mpreg because it's funny, but I'm not actually into it. Maybe in certain scenarios. No, I'm joking. No, Spirit, I know I'm not muted, you asshole. The thing I don't get about this is that if she was trying to hide the fact that she was Pakistani, why would she agree to meet up with her fans IRL? Wait, you're onto something there. Well, I guess she trusted Bird. Or she trusted him not to hold this against her. Yeah, guys, Yoshi Mpreg is just a meme. I don't mean it. Unless...
She'd then say, guys, I'm only half Pakistani, okay? I'm half Slavic. I'm Ukrainian. Please, there's some white in me. But then she would realize a very important realization, saying, you guys hate me because I'm a half...
Guys, I'm 1/16 Slavic. We all have a little bit of mix in us, come on!
I get it, y'all don't even consider Slavs white either, so I'm double brown, I hate my life. Now you might be wondering, why is it that her community of white supremacists didn't consider Slavs white? Well, in these
Hi, Lunaria.
extremely edgy internet circles, they have a big problem with the fact that the Ukrainian president Zelensky is Jewish. They think he's some Jewish puppet and he's prolonging the war on purpose, right? That's their viewpoint. So to them, Ukrainians were Jewish. They were part of the problem. Someone would say, and your dad's Ukrainian, in parentheses, Jewish, to which you would say, he's not Jewish, in all caps. So now...
She really? Damn, dude, listen, it's not that bad. It's fine to be Jewish. It's just a religion like others. Come on, man.
She wasn't just seen as half Muslim, she was also seen as half
The cap reacting mode! Dude, when your Discord turns against you, that's when you know you're cocked, man. That's when you know you're fucked.
Jewish, the two things that her community hated the most, and she made them that way. You have to understand, not everyone who found Elfin had that ideology. Some of them were totally innocent, found her through a belly picture, liked her, maybe fell in love with her because they're mentally ill, and then saw that she thought this way ideologically and started sharing those same opinions. And now they were being backstabbed, betrayed. How dare you be exactly what you've been hating on for so long? Some people would start saying, hey, maybe you're not Pakistani, maybe you're just Indian, to which you would say, I'm too cute to be Indian, please guys. Like, how dare you call a Pakistani an Indian, bro? Like, this would all keep building up until Chris.
Don't they have like a long time rivalry, these two countries? Elfin is basically the VTuber Bender Janjali Somali. And that's why you don't want a fan base like this. Exactly. Dear God. There's still so much more left to this video! They hate each other. Oh my God. They got separated at one point in history into what they are now. That's why. Okay, okay. There's history there. I pray I never become this mentally ill. Yeah, me too, dude. Me too. Mujin really cooked with this video. Like, he gave a lot of context. He showed other creators. I had to resume an insane amount of information into a digestible, entertaining format. And he was entertaining throughout every single minute of this video.
Christmas Day, the 25th of December 2025, when Elfin, in an extremely drunken state, would post a tweet that's barely
Shut up! No, the Yoshi costume stays on.
legible, saying, I'm drunk enough to come out. I'm Pak, mom's side, and Ukrainian, dad's side. I'm a halfie. LMFAO, weird combo, right? I'm not Muslim and I hate Muslims. I love Christmas.
Okay.
I'm more Slavic than anything because I grew up Slavic. Slava Ukraina, Pakistan Zindabad. So
She's manifesting the Slavic, guys. She's spiritually Slavic.
look, just like with Ririgaki, right, with her black boyfriend, this normally should have never been a problem. If anything, this would have been something to celebrate. Like, oh, you come from very different cultures. Cool, that's awesome. Wow. The only person that made it a problem was her. And as you can see from the 186 replies, her community wasn't really too happy about this. The next step was her trying to appease her community. Look, she knew what they wanted. They wanted whatever was in between her legs. So she would desperately tweet things out like, Aryan man, please colonize me. Aryan man, please colonize the girl failure. Stinky bitch, Aryan man. I mean, at this point, it was just pathetic. The only feelings most people had when seeing this was pity. Like, come on, dude, what are you doing? Then on the 29th of December, she would tweet this out all of a sudden saying, I hate being who I am and I hate being like this. I can't do this anymore for a bit. I'm sorry. I don't know when I'll be back, but I'm fucking sorry I'm like this. I hope you're all well and please don't miss someone like me. Goodbye for now. What would immediately follow after is her deactivating her Twitter account and disabling all invites to her Discord server. Now look, reactions were mixed to this, but as you might have guessed, the majority of the VTuber community was celebrating, okay? Hitler was dead. This stain on VTubers' reputations, as well as her insufferable community, were finally gone. We won. On the other end of these celebrations, though, were some very heartbroken men, saying things like, I hope Elfin Psyop comes back. Yeah, she's mentally ill and likes to provoke people, but she's not so bad that she deserves to have something terrible happen to her. Or this guy.
Okay, well, no one deserves to have something terrible happen to them. But that doesn't mean we want her to come back. Come on. Let's not get ahead of ourselves there. Yeah, I can't. She said, I can't do this anymore. I hate myself. And what she meant by this is being proud. Like, come on.
Saying, I really hope Elfin Psyop is okay. The racism towards her because of who she is unacceptable. And I genuinely hope she didn't hurt herself.
Yeah, and to add to what I said, or to what I just said, I think her staying off the internet is good for her. Because obviously this is not good for her mental health. And good for us. Like, good for the internet.
No one deserves to be treated like that. It's like, bro, are we talking about the same person here? That's literally what she did every single day. And to make matters worse, when she deactivated her account, this person would tweet this out, saying, another VTuber that I spent thousands of dollars making merch for just deactivated her socials without any warning whatsoever and isn't responding to my messages.
Oh my god, I forgot about this. Yes, this merch dude. It got 1.5 million views.
Yes, of course, this person was referring to Elfin Psyop,
Yeah.
right? This post got a lot of attention, and it showed how much of a wreck she really was. Look, overall, it wasn't just embarrassing to be Elfin at this point. It was also humiliating to be one of her fans. I mean, these guys were helpless. They were like, yeah, I know she's half Indian, but look, she's half white. I know we're meant to hate Muslims and minorities, but please, just make an exception for her. I'll fix her, wife her up, and prolong the white race. Please, let's just make her an exception. Now, as pathetic as this sounds, it wasn't a surprise. No one was ever interested in her for her political takes or her grift. It was all about her belly and the fact that she was a woman who was promiscuous. Politically speaking, though, they gave themselves some hope that, hey, at least she's half white, but even that illusion was about to be shattered. That's because 4chan would go above and beyond, as they always do, and would find irrefutable proof that she's not half Pakistani, she is full Pakistani. 4chan would go through her
Bro, no way! No way, they were coping on the 50% and you just crushed their dreams. No. Yikes.
previous usernames on Steam. And before using Elfin Psyop in 2021, she would be known as Absurd Comrade. Well, would you look at that? There's an Osu account that was created back in September 2020 that had the same exact name, and also used the profile picture of a character that Elfin liked a lot, Megumin from Konosuba. It also
No! I like that character. No, you don't get to. No, I like that character. That's terrible. The worst person you know likes a character you like too. Fuck.
Had the flag of Pakistan on the profile. And this was a very big deal because this was region-based.
You know what? I'm switching my fave. You know what? Actually, Darkness is more based. When you think about it, Darkness is way more based.
Yes, it was based on your IP. This meant that as far back as 2020, Elfin was in Pakistan. She wasn't raised Slavic. She was raised in a country in which 99.99% of people are Muslim. And those Muslim immigrants going to the UK that she kept insulting every single day, well, she was literally one of them. I mean, seriously, the jokes just write themselves here. Like, how stupid is this? At this point, it was official. She was nothing more than a self-hating grifter. Many such cases, but not many with this many followers and that much of a community. But just as people thought that she was finally defeated, that she was gone forever, she would literally come back just a few days later. And while she was expecting a bunch of hugs and kisses, she instead got the final blow to her short but very interesting career.
If there's one thing I've learned about the internet over the years, is never underestimate the power of artists on 4chan. They delivered the nuke, the final nail in the coffin.
So look, it was at this point that I started working on this video, but then I saw that she had tweeted on January 4th saying, "Hey, what's up, retards? I'm back. I went to a museum. I did a bunch of different things." She'd even post a selfie and a tank, the flag of Pakistan. Her post would get thousands of likes. Her community was so happy she was back. They were celebrating and saying, "Oh my God, I was worried about you. Oh my God, thank you so much for coming back. I missed you." So I was like, oh, I guess we're gonna pretend like nothing happened. Okay. She'd say, "All the speculation about me leaving for weird reasons was all wrong, lol. I left because I had personal reasons." This is when I figured, okay, dude.
Yeah, it's like she came back to try to deny those allegations. Like, oh, I didn't leave because I was outed as Pakistani. I left for personal reasons.
Whatever, like, who cares? I'm just gonna work on something else. And look, I want to make one thing clear. If Elfin continued as she always had operated and didn't change a single thing, then she could have very easily kept her career and her community. Again, they didn't care about her political ideology, okay? They just wanted a chance to get in a Discord call with her and have her goon. But what she would do 2 days later on January 6th 2026 would be the dumbest thing I have ever seen anyone do on the internet ever, admitting to the distribution of child pornography.
Oh, yeah.
She'd make this tweet out of nowhere saying, "Guys, I have a little announcement to make. So this may not come as much of a shock to some of you, but to most of the majority, I want to be truthful to all of you. When I first started VTubing, I was 17 years old. My hallmates living with me were older than me and would buy me all the alcohol. So I pretended to be a bit older online. I came to the UK to study a foundation year at 16, turning 17. They let you go early, especially if you have good grades. I'm 19 right now. The funniest part of all this is that I never told my age to anyone because I didn't want people to think it's weird someone underage is talking about stupid shit online. And the lie had gone for so long for me to tell the truth. But I'm a solid age now that I don't care. It's kind of why I suck at saying what age I learned what. Like, oh, I started going on 4chan when I was 14, but what I mean is like 11. I wanted to sound older somehow. I had to get a proper ID for 18 when I turned 18, and it was exhilarating buying my own beer. Ha 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 ha. Now here's the bombshell. Also, just thought to put this out there because all the images that my haters have been leaking are all technically CP. XD. Good luck. So yeah, what seemed like a post of her just being edgy as always, saying, "Hey, I've always been edgy. I've always been on 4chan. I've thought the same thing since I was 14," ended up being one of the dumbest admissions of guilt I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, they out themselves. They out themselves every single time. 4chan may be dumb, but they have standards. Thank you, PW. She's like, tee-hee, take that, haters. I'm sending CP, by the way. It's like, you remember when we watched that Chew on Head video about this new social media dating app for minors? And a lot of them were advertising that they were sending nudes on their profile, but like what Shuan had raised in the video was like, they don't realize that they're sending each other CP and they're advertising it and it's out there on the internet. Yeah, it was like Tinder for minors. Been on 4chan since she was 11. Girl never had a chance. Nope. Oh. In a way, she's kind of a victim of the internet. I mean, it sucks never to grow out of that. Like the...
Yes, she's been on 4chan since she was a minor. And yes, since then, she's been promiscuous. She's been sending explicit images of herself. She's been...
So, yeah, wait, so does that mean she kept the same opinion since she was 11? That means she kept the same opinion since she was 11, chat.
She distributed illegal material, and she's out here talking about it like, "Oh, gotcha." Someone would of course point this out, replying, "You realize taking the pictures and uploading them is you transmitting / distributing illegal CP as well, right? Just because it's yourself doesn't remove that." This is when Elfin would say, "Yeah, I know, but that shit was ages ago, and I sent it to a few people at different time intervals. I didn't know they would leak it because they're awful people. I hope they suffer." Smiley face. This is of course in reference to the many nudes you can...
I mean, TBH, they also shouldn't leak her nudes. Like, that's revenge porn and that's awful. You shouldn't leak it. You shouldn't leak stuff or photos from other people. It's horrible. But she's also an idiot. Two things can be true at once.
Find online of her. So that means a lot of websites are hosting CP at the moment, if she's to be believed. At this point, she was fair game, okay? And this is when Johnzilla would make this Twitter thread saying, "Most people think Elfin Psyop privated because she crashed out over her white supremacist friends finding out that she isn't white. But in actuality, it was because it was found out she groomed and sent weird and inappropriate things to minors on her Discord server."
Oh.
The first example would be how she made a community member who was 16 draw a doujin, right? Like some sort of a adult comic of her and a VTuber she looked up to. He would post it in her Discord and she would say, "Holy fucking shit, dude. Oh my god." She was very excited over it. She'd also send him some very explicit messages. Like, for example, he'd make artwork of her holding a gun on her stomach, and she'd say, "I love the weight of the gun on my stomach. It makes me very horny." And finally, there would be this screenshot in which she says, "When I grow up, I'm going to be like Masato and groom blah blah blah." And there'd even be a message with her saying, "Pedophile bros, rise up." So now her community had to wrestle with the fact that not only was she not a virgin, not only was she not white, but she was also someone who was practically a weirdo to minors. Go figure. What Johnzilla had posted was part of a wider expose that fully sought to expose Elfin and ruin her career that was posted on 4chan. In it, we can see even more images, like how, for example, she would let this minor into an NSFW 18+ channel knowing that he's a minor. She doesn't care. Why would she? But look, I know at this point you're thinking she's completely irredeemable. No way she still has fans, right? Well, there's a reason I refer to her fans throughout this whole video as castrated men. They're not castrated like literally, like physically. They're castrated mentally, in the sense that they stand for nothing. They're
Wait, the Duyan was Elfin x Lumi from Face Connect? Ooh. Yeah, her fanbase was spiritually castrated.
life is meaningless in the sense that they're willing to throw anything away just for a chance at having a gooner girlfriend. Someone would reply to Johnzilla's thread saying, "What the fuck? Based? Me next," in all caps. So guys, I don't care. She could murder someone. She could, I don't know, carpet bomb an entire family neighborhood. I don't care. I don't care. Please, just get in a call with me and Goon. Please. I've never had a woman touch me. Please. The secondhand embarrassment would continue for Elfin, though. She would post an AI-generated clip of Brody Fox, a content creator, with him saying slurs that he never said because it's AI. It would perform abysmally, and he would reply to her saying, "Why did you groom minors and distributed CP?" linking Johnzilla's thread, out-ratioing her by 5 times.
Damn.
Yeah, at this point it was obvious. Elfin was becoming...
Who is Brody Fox? Is that's a big account? Is the Yo Mama guy? I saw that. I saw that post pop up. And I was like, this guy's got a lot of followers, and I just saw that a bunch of people were asking him to do a Yo Mama joke. It's a Yo Mama guy? That's so funny. Yeah, but it's funny that he's taking part of some, like, VTuber commentary drama, though. Oh, he's a lol cow? He's pretty cringe? Okay.
a lol cow. In fact, she had already become one by the time she deactivated the first time in December. Seeing how much the pressure was mounting and how many of her close friends or community members were telling her, "You're a dumbass for admitting this, you have to do something to contain this disaster," she would make this tweet in a desperate attempt to calm people down, saying, "I lied. I lied about my age and being younger at the time because there's images of me on the internet that I sent to people I trusted. Never full nudity, and they used AI to make revenge porn of it. They actively posted on all spaces I'm in, trying to get back in."
I also saw a bunch of posts saying that her story on those photos changed throughout the time. Before she was saying they're Photoshopped, now she's saying they used AI. I mean, isn't AI somewhat of a recent thing? I don't know when these images are supposed to date from, but I mean, her story's changing so much. Something somewhere is untruthful, whether it be her age, whether they're edited, etc., or her race.
me for rejecting them. How do you counter that? How do you even stop it? So yeah, I lied to scare them. Yeah, right. And I'm French. What are we doing? Lying now? No one believed that, especially with the proof that she so readily invited a 16-year-old into an NSFW channel on her Discord. It was over, and even Elfin had enough self-awareness to understand that.
Yeah.
This is why shortly afterwards, a day later, on January 7th, 2026, she would yet again deactivate her Twitter, but this time wipe her YouTube channel and pretty much delete all socials. And the final thing she'd do is post an announcement on Discord, pretty much announcing her graduation and how she was ceasing all activities for good now. Here's what she had to say. "Hey, thank you for always being by my side. When I first started streaming, it was crazy to me to have so many people like me so much and want to talk to me. It felt exhilarating to have friends in a community. All the art I got, all the friendships I made, the 10-hour Among Us sessions, it was incredible. Probably the best time I've ever had in my life. I wouldn't trade this time for the world. It meant everything to me, and you guys meant everything to me. I'd like to thank you all for being amazing agents." That's what she called her community. "For believing in me even though I've always been a massive loser. For always sticking by my side, buying my merch, liking me at all. I wish I could give you more than this. I wish I could be more than what I am for you guys, and I'm so sorry for disappointing you like I do every time. But I just wanted to say I really love you guys. Despite all the controversies and dramas we've been through, it's been way too fun to want to forget all of this. I guess the Elfin saga had to end on a weird bittersweet note like this. Fucking chaotic. It definitely wasn't meant to last. I never believed in myself that much. Too much shit has happened, and I'm too small of a person to be able to handle it alone. I've lost. It doesn't matter anymore. Please don't be sad when I'm gone. You can always look back on memories. So corny. I'll be graduating for good. I wish I could have a stream rather than this Discord announcement, but this is the best I can bring myself to doing. I don't want to seem pathetic on stream, have to act nonchalant. Thank you for being with me. I love you all. It was really nice while it lasted. Heart emoji." And so this was it. This time it was actually official. It wasn't like the other time she deactivated and just came back a few days later. No, this was it. Elfin Psyop would be no more. And as you might have guessed, people celebrated again, but her community was gutted. And shortly afterwards, she would completely delete her Discord. "Elfin Psyop is a real one. I'm gonna miss my homie. I'm broken right now. She'll be with us always, in one form or another. Plenty more Indian women out there. Just go to India and bring one home."
Oh my god.
Dude, look at this tweet. Just look. Oh my god. "When I die, Elfin will still be on my mind. I couldn't forget these past couple of years if I tried.
What?
Castrated beyond belief. You see, when people make fun of the male loneliness epidemic, don't show them statistics, okay? Don't make them think that it's just some guy who's sad that he's single. Show them these people mourning as if they lost a family member, when in fact it was just some grifter who was a Pakistani woman that pretended she was white. It is so pathetic, man. Okay, this is probably my favorite tweet. Okay, this is... Your Paki brothers will miss you, Elfin Pakistan. No. There was a lot of funny memes. Gets called brown once, fucking dies.
Basically.
Look at this guy. I wake up with the New Year's hangover, and one of the first things I learn is that Elfin is brown. First off, the fuck that I missed. Second off, is there a single one of you motherfuckers that's actually white? And just like that, the legendary meteoric rise of Elfin would end as quickly as it had started. Not with a bang, not with a whisper, but in a flaming hot pile of shitty diarrhea. But hey, as far as I know, the artist that had been ghosted by Elfin worked things out, and now you have an attorney involved. Meanwhile, Riri is still crying over the fact that she grifted.
Yeah, but if she has no money, how are they gonna get the money from her? Funny how she attacked you and anybody who called her out, and now she's gone. Like Gunpei before her. Never underestimate the horse, auntie. Clop, clop. I didn't even have to lift a finger. That's the best part. And it's probably gonna happen again. But in the case of Elfin, I don't know. I have a feeling that it's not the last we'll hear of it. I feel like she's gonna come back. Will Elfin be back? I'm gonna make a poll.
Tried to be Elfin, and now her entire career is ruined. Hey man, all I gotta say is you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. But before I end the video, I do want to point out something that's very, very interesting. There's a conspiracy theory going around right now that the reason why Elfin left and deleted all socials is because she's being pursued by UK tax authorities. You see, when you would donate to her PayPal link, it would show an email. It would say payment to blank blank at hotmail.com. And this was clearly not her name. This was a man's name. This was her boyfriend that she had while she cheated on him with 6 other guys. However, you have to remember, Elfin was in the UK under a student visa, which doesn't allow her to work or earn any income. It seemed like she was funneling all her earnings to her boyfriend. So the theory is that maybe she broke up with her boyfriend and he found out that she cheated on him with 6 guys and she was doing all this dumb shit on the internet. So now he's getting the tax authorities after her so he can reclaim the money that she took from him while also getting her kicked out of the country. Definitely an interesting theory, but I do think it might be a bit of a reach. I guess only time will tell. I personally think that Elfin will try to pull a Gunpei because she's practically Gunpei but 10 times worse. Eventually she might recreate a new persona, a new character, and try to come back into streaming slowly. Will she carefully disguise herself? No, people will recognize her, but her community will be very happy that she's back because as you can see, there's a void in their hearts that still hasn't been filled, guys. I've made so many videos, you know, throughout this career. Some of them involve disturbing topics, but I've never been so disturbed as I have been while researching for this video. I'm sure you also lost hope in humanity multiple times as you were watching this. So hey, you're welcome. And I hope you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching until the end.
So hey, you're welcome.
As a reminder, make sure to check out my Stacked page, okay? It's going to be filled to the brim with content. I'm going to be very active there. You'll find the link in the description and the pinned comment. Thank you so much again.
That art was so good. I feel like commissioning new art.
I love you so much platonically, and I'll see you in the next video, whenever that is. Mwah.
God, man, can you believe all these immigrants in the UK? Anyway, I'm hoping I don't get deported for fraud. The ending of his video, the title card is always so funny. Good fucking video, Muujin. Holy shit. Thank you for making me lose all remaining faith I had in humanity, Muujin. My villain arc shall now begin. Truly, 2026. This is it. I get it now. I get it. I get it, chat. I get it. For a long time, I fought I could avoid conflict. But I understand now that she can't make an omelet without cracking a few eggs. It's demon time! Like the Miskiff quote, it's demon time! No, it's never gonna be that serious. It's time to go full demon mode. Hold your horses. It's time to unleash the beast. Most controversial take of the day. The Luigi slander. Oh man. Unleash the horse. Is there another good like viral video to react to? Man, these videos are so good. How can we top that now? That was incredible. Guys, she's going to the Riku yacht. No, Auntie, don't. Yeah, she's coming back as another VTuber for sure. I mean, she's been on the internet since she was 11. What else is she gonna do? Like, her entire personality is online. Her entire identity is tied to online. Yes, I've watched a Thailand esport video by Mujin and I reacted to it. And you know, like one of the comments said, it was horrible. One of the commenters on my react said, of all of the people that I've seen react to this Mujin video, Rima's the only one who didn't guess it on the first try. Like, what do you mean? This dude watched everybody who had reacted to the Mujin video, and I'm the only one who didn't guess how they did it on their first try. Oh yes, there's a new Charlie video on the LSF mod. The Moist Critical? Oh wait, Mujin tweeted about this mod and I was wondering what this was about.
Moderator just made a video directly speaking to and tugging on the heartstrings of the CEO of Reddit. He's making a big call to action after he had been stripped of his position as top mod on r/livestream fail. I'm kind of at a loss for words here. I can't believe what I just watched was genuine and not a skit. But this seems authentic.
I can already tell it's gonna be hilarious!
What you picture in your head when you hear the term Reddit mod is exactly what you are about to see unfold in the flesh. The reason this mod just lost his position is because he was promoting a scam on the subreddit that he was the top mod for, Livestream Fail. I made 2 videos covering this. It was the $1 Million Fan Show, which was paraded around as a $20 million reality television show for streamers' fans to sign up, and even paid entry into it to compete for.
Yeah, and Mythic's involved in that drama.
For, $20 million prize purse. Turns out the whole thing was a load of baloney, as it appears everything has been wiped off the face of the planet. So some viewers paid money for actually nothing. They flushed it down the shitter, and agencies that brought this to streamers were left embarrassed. Most notably, Mythic Talent was the one that was named by some of the streamers as their agency that took them this deal, where seemingly no due diligence was done on behalf of Mythic to confirm whether or not this was even legitimate in the first place as a paid promotion. It was supposed to be an Amazon production, but clearly it was not an Amazon production, and it took 2 seconds of going to the website to deduce that this was fraudulent, but they took this deal before the website even existed.
We can watch that video after, because I don't know the full story.
It's a whole mess. I've already
No, they did not approach me. I'm not clouded enough.
covered all this, But Livestream Fail gets roped in because there was this inexplicable partnership that no one fully understood, where Million Dollar Fan was in bed with Livestream Fail, and the top mod of Livestream Fail made a post on the subreddit pinning it to try and get more suckers into it. And now this is his response after being fundamentally fired from his free position of Reddit janitor.
Hello, Spez,
Oh,
Mr. CEO
it's
of Reddit.
him!
I hope you have received this public video that I have created and sent to you via your
No, it looks like AI. Why is his skin all smoothed out?
email. If not, I hope anybody who cares about the topic in this video can get this to him in any way that you can. This video
Oh my
is about a
God.
topic of deadly seriousness, and that is of Reddit moderation and the state of your platform.
Oh my god.
We had the exact same reaction! This is the guy? I feel kind of bad for making fun of his physical appearance, but nah, dude. It's not that we're making fun of his physical appearance, okay? It's that he's a Reddit mod and he looks like the definition of a Reddit mod. No fedora? Yes, AI. He probably removed the fedora with AI. But then why did he not add himself hair?
This is Reddit's Manhattan Project right now. The moderators are rising up against the CEO of Reddit. I'm actually at a loss for words. This couldn't be a more lame start to this video. The topic he's about to cover is how he believes Reddit mods don't have enough, elbow grease from the Reddit upper echelon, like
What?
Spez here, the CEO. He believes they should be entitled to, like, brand deals, talent managers, lawyers, and stuff, so that
No.
they can better be utilized as
No, they're already power tripping. That's the worst case scenario. We don't want that. Nobody wants that.
Reddit moderators. I'm not even kidding, by the way. I'm not exaggerating. Like, these are points he was making in this video, and that's what he's talking about with deadly seriousness here. He talks
No.
about Reddit moderators like they're fucking G.I. Joe commandos. Man, please come back to reality. Like, I don't want anyone to harass this guy, so I'm not gonna be like,
Yeah, Reddit must be like, now I have unlimited power. Tip hat, milady. Thank you for the 20. Thank you, Kasubu. I want to say it's AI, but I've seen someone who looks exactly like that. Thank you for the 10, Ethan.
showing you his channel or anything like that, because honestly, I kind of feel bad for him that he's put so much weight on his personal life into this position, which
Yeah.
is just a thankless job. And it's not
Yeah.
really a job, at least it should never be considered a job, because
It's not paid. Of course, it should not be considered a job. The point of a job is that you get money from it.
all he is doing is moderating a fucking subreddit as a volunteer janitor. I really thought this was a skit, and I'm still, a small part of me, on the copium here, is hoping that this is, like, satirical and not
Yes.
real, but I don't know, it feels genuine.
I was the top moderator of your #1 gaming subreddit, r/livestreamfail, before I was recently removed from that position by the Reddit Code of Conduct team. I became a Reddit moderator for one reason, and that is because I think that Reddit communities and correspondingly its moderators have massive power and influence, and for some reason, nobody seems to notice, care, or take this seriously. Least of all, its moderators or the company.
That's not really a good look to say the sole reason you pursued this path of heroism as a Reddit moderator is because you believed that it held so much power. So
Yeah.
you're basically just saying that you were power hungry and wanted to take this spot
Yeah.
so that way you could feel powerful. He believes that Reddit communities
Yes, he admits he wanted power. This is everything that we dislike in Reddit mods.
and specifically Reddit moderators hold a strong level of sway and power,
gonna grab a
and
snack.
that's why he became one himself. That, I don't think, is a good look, man. It's not even coming from, like, a place of passion or something for communities. He is literally saying he did it because he wanted to be strong. Come on! I understand that Reddit communities, like Reddit as a whole, is a platform that does hold like legitimate influence over like conversations and topics and stuff like that. So by extension, moderators have a lot of ability to control narratives by hiding things or boosting things, and that is something that I've talked about in the past, and a lot of people have made mentions of many times. It's been a pretty big yapping point for a while.
That is true. The LSF subreddit is can swing an opinion pretty hard, and some streamers have a big hold of that subreddit. Meanwhile, other subreddits have been doing really awful stuff, like harassing, like the Snacker subreddit and all of these, harassing certain streamers that are going way too far. As for the on the VTuber side, I haven't given it much thought yet, but there's definitely some mods that are not very open-minded and don't really take the time to look into things very much. But I think this is, I'm hoping this is somewhat changing with the Kurosanji subreddit developing into just a subreddit that talks about many VTubers, not just the Nijisanji one. Yeah, but I remember that on LSF sometimes they delete Hassan clips and they protect certain streamers more than others.
This is the quintessential Reddit mod mentality. You know the stereotype that exists of power-tripping Reddit mods? He is, in the first minute of this video, confirming that is exactly what drives him, is power. Like this small modicum of power that he was bestowed for the livestream fail subreddit. And it's... the level of self-importance is sickening.
In this video, I will go over why I believe this, and I will also talk about a code of conduct moderation action that was taken against me due to good faith mistakes that I believe were caused by a clear lack of direct material support that the company gives its moderators. I will end the video by talking about what you, Spez, can do to fix this problem, as well as what I and other communities can do in case Reddit does.
No, I was muted! Shit, because I was eating my chocolate. God damn it. I was saying, man, I was doing some great commentary too. I was saying that this, what you just said reminds me of that Iron Mouse mod who kicked her out of her own subreddit. And that mod also moderated a bunch of other VShojo subreddits. So you're right. Usually, the big mods, they moderate multiple communities, so they get to spread the same narrative across multiple platforms. And as you guys seen, people don't really take the time to look into claims. Like, you know, people just hear something about somebody and they believe it without looking into it further. You know what? I'm just gonna eat my chocolate unmuted because I keep forgetting to mute. Sorry.
Not solve this very serious mismanagement problem regarding the lack of support that is given to moderators.
So here's the spoiler alert. He is going to be playing as a sad song on the world's smallest violin about how he's been removed now as top mod of Livestream Fail because he was promoting a scam through that subreddit, which did ultimately result in people losing money. There were actual victims of the scam, so he has been removed of his position at the top of the food chain on Livestream Fail. And he is now putting a decent chunk of that blame on Reddit itself for not giving him the tools to avoid this from happening. Like he, at a certain point, there's like a brief moment of self-awareness, like this lightning bolt of self-awareness where he's like, yeah, you know, it was a little fishy. But then he like immediately pushes it onto Reddit like, but if Reddit had given me access to brand deals and lawyers, this probably wouldn't have happened. It's like, what the fuck are you talking about? You're a Reddit mod. Why would Reddit be giving you access to lawyers and brand deals and shit? That doesn't make sense.
First, I will go over the code of conduct action and why I was removed as the top moderator of r/livestreamfail. This sounds like stupid internet drama.
Stop! Imagine being unemployed and still getting fired. Okay, you cooked there. You cooked.
I know, but I'm going to talk about how this is a very clear example about how Reddit's mistakes causes very serious problems to Reddit's community and the company as a whole.
It was your mistake, buddy. Fucking Spez wasn't behind you massaging your shoulders as you signed the deal with $1 Million Fan Show, which turned out to be a scam. He wasn't like the Sith Lord projecting into you, trying to convince you to go to the dark side to, you know, sell out Livestream Fail to get more people hooked on $1 Million Fan Show. It was not the CEO of Reddit that forced you to do that, and even if you did have access to lawyers and other brand deals, it wouldn't have prevented something like this from happening. You made the choice.
Here's what happened. There was an announcement related to a live stream related game show called $1 Million Fan. I heard about the game show a few hours after it got announced by a couple major live streamers. It sounded like the perfect type of content for a live stream fail. I mean, reality TV, game show, live streaming, gaming, you know, that's perfect for LSF, which is about fun, crazy content about kind of live streaming gamers.
If that isn't the stinkiest load of horseradish I've ever heard with that description of LSF. Do you go on your own subreddit? Have you ever been on your own subreddit? That's not what it is. That's not what you just described at all. That is the most blatant misrepresentation of that subreddit I've ever heard anyone try to squeak out. If this was Pinocchio, his nose would have just went fucking Wumbo Insano style with that lie right there. Anyone who has ever visited LSF in the last, 7 years will tell you it is not a subreddit for crazy, wacky clips of gaming and, stream fails or anything like that. I don't know why he's even trying that angle. Everyone knows that's not what that subreddit is.
So when I heard about this, I was very excited. I immediately reached out to the organizers to see if we could set up some sort of a collaboration. This collaboration would just be to get cool content on the subreddit. No, financial incentives, no moderators being paid, basically none of anything like that, just fun, cool stuff for the community in the subreddit. For collaborations, the first obvious thing that came to mind was how do we get their content on the subreddit? Either some super fans or some editors could clip some cool hype moment from the show and then post it to the subreddit.
What? That's what happens already organically on...
That's what I was thinking! I was like, isn't that what already happens?
Every other stream. Why would this, a potential $20 million reality TV show, be any different? Obviously, things would already be being clipped and posted on the LSF subreddit. Why would you be reaching out about a collaboration to ensure that happens when you know for a fact it already would if this fucking show ever actually existed in the first place? That doesn't make any sense to me at all. Trying to be extremely charitable here, maybe he was under the impression that this would be exclusive to Amazon Prime, thus they wouldn't have the rights to post it on LSF. But on the flip side of that coin, he said he heard about this from streamers, thus he would have known that it was going to be streamed on Twitch in the first place, thus it would still be clippable for LSF. That's just business as usual. I don't know why he would reach out about a collaboration to do what was already no doubt going to be done already. It just, that doesn't pass the smell test. I don't understand.
But I also had a stretch goal, and that was, what if LSF could be part of the show in some way? I don't know, there could be like a LSF-themed best clip contest. Contestants compete in one of the kind of small challenges, they make the best clip, and then somebody kind of wins a prize at the end. It was a stretch goal, though.
Why, though? LSF Best Clip is just the best clip from the event. Why does LSF's name need to be attached to it? This guy is treating Livestream Fail like it's his personal brand.
Yeah.
This is his baby. This is his product. So
yeah, that's why he's so upset about getting fired from his non-job. Hey, Jessica. Yeah, we reacted to that video earlier.
all the clips that hit LSF are actually top mods clips as well. I just don't even get this stretch goal here. I think he just wanted LSF's name out there more because it gives him
For
more
sure.
power in some capacity, because this is totally useless. Again, whatever would win best clip would just be someone else's content. There doesn't necessitate a live stream fails shout out there for some reason. Like, even if they were the ones that were like hosting votes on what the best clip is, who gives a fuck? That could have been anything and any one where people, like the actual communities, would vote on it, not just his subreddit. Anyway, though, he goes on to explain that they accepted this proposal. He was super hype about it because it meant this was a big moment for the subreddit, and he even made a mention that he believed he could turn this into even more opportunities for the subreddit going further, snowballing it into even more LSF prominence.
So we quickly worked to make an announcement together, and I posted it the next day. When I posted it, everybody in the comment section immediately yelled, scam, 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 scam. I mean, think about it. Amazon Prime has spent lots of money on tons of shows. And, you know, I didn't necessarily think that the show was worth $20 million, but, you know, that doesn't mean that Amazon Prime wouldn't fund it. And, you know, if LSF was involved, maybe it would actually succeed. You know, maybe my involvement alone could
If LSF was involved, it would actually succeed. This guy put so much stuck on his own subreddit. That's okay. Okay, he really cares about his Reddit. There's a reason why used car salesmen wear a toupee. I think the guy should consider one.
make the $20 million kind of investment worth it. Who knows? At least that's what I thought.
It sounds like you weren't thinking at all, though. Why would Amazon be spending $20 million on like 8 streamers and their fans on Twitch and only a $5 million grand prize for Mr. fucking Beast? What sense does that make, man? That isn't really checking out either. Also, he's making kind of like a joke about, you know, maybe my involvement alone would make it worth the investment. But that's how he actually feels, by the way. Like, that's his tone throughout this whole video. He truly believes that he is like God's gift to streaming because he was the top mod of Livestream Fail.
Holy.
It is a very like scary mentality to have, and I do genuinely feel bad for him that he has like poisoned his own brain to this level, deluded himself into thinking that him being a top mod on a subreddit was like something of significance and like something of like grand importance.
I'm a highly paid software engineer working in San Francisco. I do not need to take a couple $1,000 bribes from, you know, random internet scams. Okay, I was doing this because I legitimately, you know, care about the subreddit, and that's why I spend my time on it.
So he debunks.
No, it's not a troll. He is serious. It's actually sad because he probably has like a 9-to-5 job. Sure, he can make a lot of money, but whenever he's at his job, he's probably only thinking about his online identity. And I guess all of us can relate a little bit to that part, but not to that degree. We need to not become this guy, guys. We need to not become him. Bro thinks he's him, but he wasn't him at all. We can't become like that.
Rumors that he was paid to promote $1 Million Show from the organizers, saying that he doesn't need to be taking bribes, he's financially well off. He then goes on to say that he was addressing like some of the deleted comments because that was a specific mention in why Reddit canned him, because it potentially showed malice because he was involved in this promotion that ended up being a scam. And so he wanted to address like the deleted comments. He then has a section dedicated to me where I talked about the scam, and then the organizers were talking to him like, well, since Charlie talked about the scam, 5 streamers dropped out, so we're, you know, no longer doing this anymore. Pack your bags, take down the post. And then he says I didn't do enough research on it because I didn't reach out to him or the organizers.
Oh my god, this is the elephant argument.
But beyond that, it doesn't seem like he did much research. I don't think that he reached out to any of the organizers. He certainly didn't reach out to me. And I mean, I don't know if he reached out to Mythic Talent or any of the streamers. And that important.
The thing is, when you reach out to people, they just try to gaslight you to take their side. It's like when I reached out to Drakeout when I did the Owuzu video, everybody just lies.
Point is that nothing in this situation has yet to be definitively proven as a scam. I repeat, there is no definitive, at least public information yet, that anything fraudulent, malicious, or illegal has happened in the situation.
Brother, your level of research was cold calling the organization dick in hand, begging to be associated with them, and then that was the extent of it, because apparently you heard one of the streamers promote it. And yet he's going to be causing a hubbub because I didn't reach out to him for his perspective. Brother, I didn't even really talk about you in my video, just that you were associated with this shit, roped into the same scam that they were. Yeah. And for what it's worth, if you watch the video, you would know I did get into.
Yeah, I'm sure if you reached out to the scammers, they would have told you the truth. You know, scammers are always so honest.
Contact with 2 agencies, one of which got the exact same contracts that Mythic did, and got information on that, as well as getting one of the actual offers that Mythic was taking to the streamers. So I was very well familiarized with everything that was unfolding behind the scenes. And again, it doesn't take a super sleuth to go to their website and see that it's just fucking barnacles, man. One of their partners didn't even exist. There was no website and no business. Their about section was AI-generated mumbo jumbo. Every single paragraph ended in triplets and also had the telltale sign of it's not this, it's this, over and over and over again. Their first image on their site was literally an AI-generated mansion, and he mentions that in this video, but then goes on to say shamelessly that there's no definitive proof that this was ever a scam in the first place.
Oh my god.
That's a wild statement. Why don't you ask the people who spent money on this how they feel? Do they feel like they got their money's worth? Did they get the product they paid for? I imagine not, because this event is not even potentially in the cards and doesn't seem like it ever was to begin with, man. Their socials are removed. The website is down. Amazon hasn't made a peep about it.
Wait, so people spent money on that LSF event?
From what I've heard, the agencies are pissed about this. All signs point to this being a scam. Like, any sane, sensible person will look at all of this evidence and reach the same conclusion that this was horseradish. I don't know why he's trying to present something otherwise now.
The only confirmed things that we have right now is that I guess there was a website, looked a little weird, there was some bad publicity, everybody called it a scam, and then a bunch of streamers dropped out, and then the event got canceled, and everybody got refunded. None of this is illegal. None of this is proved to be a scam, at least yet. Maybe I'll eat these words.
Brother, you're eating your own cock right now. What are you talking about? And then everyone clapped. Like, this is just fanfic. Where are you getting this information? There was an explicit no refund policy on their website baked into it. It was very boldly stated there are no refunds once you make these purchases. Who got a refund? I haven't seen anyone, posting receipts of getting a refund from the money they spent on this. Where are you getting that information from? That's a genuine question. Maybe he's seeing things that I'm not seeing somewhere. Because I even looked into it after he made this video, wondering like, whoa, they refunded? That's pretty surprising. I can't find any proof of that. I would love to see where he found that.
It's really not a secret or very surprising. I got removed directly for the post that I pinned to the top of the subreddit related to the game show or supposed and alleged scam, as well as kind of for deleting comments that were kind of critical of it. I also want to make a comment about kind of the Reddit.
I like how you just brushed out of that last part. Oh, and I also deleted comments that were kind of critical of it. Oh, well, Reddit mod in action.
Code of conduct team as a whole. Reddit has all this flowery language about how kind of the code of conduct team is not here to punish you. It's kind of here to get you to act in good faith. It's here to kind of give you second chances and warnings and all of this stuff. And apparently all of that are lies.
No, man, this feels like the perfect implementation of that protocol. You pinned what seems to be, from all possible evidence, a scam. I don't know why he is trying so desperately to persuade to the contrary. Maybe it's because he believes that if he can try and prove that he really believes that it's not fraudulent, he can get his position back as top mod of LSF. I don't know. Or maybe getting really conspiratorial, maybe he worked with the organizers in a deeper capacity than he's letting on. That's just a possible game theory. It's just extremely peculiar how hard he is fighting to try and convince himself and others that maybe this wasn't a scam when all available evidence points towards this being fraudulent. And if this video is him trying to make a case for himself why he should be reinstated and get that power coursing through his veins again as a moderator on Reddit, then this is a terrible job. Because what he is doing now is showing that he is willing to even defend what seems to be by all possible accounts a scam
Yeah.
that he was directly associated with, maybe unknowingly, and now he is doubling down on it. That is a terrible look, and that makes you look like an unhinged moderator who, even when proven to be incorrect, will not see that, will not take
Yeah, so the classic Reddit, like when people insult others by using the word Reddit mod, that's exactly what they think of. All of that.
the accountability there. And now he's getting mad at the Code of Conduct team for enforcing their rules. He deleted comments that were critical of his decision to promote this sketchy game show, and promoted a sketchy game show that resulted in people spending money on something that didn't exist, doesn't exist. So I feel like it's a pretty justified termination of his moderator status.
Now, here's the most important part of the video, Spez. This is a direct message to you and only you. I want to talk about how this whole situation is a direct result of the lack of support that Reddit, the company, gives to its moderators. Yeah, I did the partnership.
What?
Yeah, I didn't look into this as much as I should, and I trusted kind of agencies and live streamers when I should not have. And I did delete comments, which I thought would have been borderline defamatory if the situation wasn't, I guess, a scam, even though it technically hasn't been proven to be a scam yet. But despite all of that, there is still massive kind of like problems at Reddit, the company, due to the lack of support that caused this.
Now, this message may have been
Because you weren't supposed to do all that as a Reddit mod. You're not supposed to reach out to companies and ask for collaborations. You wouldn't have such a need for a lawyer.
only for Spez, but I've intercepted the broadcast here. Now I've put my ear into it and I'm taking a listen, and what I'm hearing is fucking wild.
Yeah, I did everything wrong, but why aren't you helping me?
He almost gets into a level of accountability where he's like, yeah, I did the partnership. Yeah, I didn't look into it. I didn't do any research on it. And then he immediately falls back into, but it hasn't really been fully proven to be a scam. And also, it's actually, in a large part, Reddit's fault that this happened in the first place because I wasn't given enough tools at my disposal to avoid making stupid decisions.
Reddit moderators have power. They have influence. If you are one of the people who is joking about like internet janitor duties or whatever, I'm sorry to tell you, it's funny jokes, but you are wrong. Reddit moderation does matter. Reddit moderators have control over millions of impressions per day, and nobody seems to notice or care. Let's just talk about—
See how he really, and like, he doesn't even say Reddit moderators, you know, matter because of them you can have a safe community, and you know, we have rules, there's no doxing allowed, etc. But no, he's like, they're in control of millions of impressions, they control the narrative. That, what do you mean? This is not what you're supposed to be.
about LSF. Think of all the streamer careers that have been created because of LSF. Think about the even larger number of streamer careers that have been destroyed because of LSF.
See, he's all about power and like control of power and communication. That's wow. And he's admitting to all of that. Jesus.
Because some clip went viral about like something bad that they did.
He made you, and he can tear you down.
Yeah,
as
he's
well.
like, he made you. He made all these streamers.
Well, this is top mod LSF. It giveth and it taketh.
Top
And
D.
he also said doodities, which actually had me giggling. I don't know why he said doodities, but that was fucking hype. Anyway, this is now his spiel about why Reddit moderators are extremely powerful dragon level, adversaries and should be taken seriously, and no one seems to notice. It's not that nobody notices, it's that nobody's happy about it. There shouldn't be people like this that can just power trip and control a conversation and control what people are able to opine on or not, like with deleted comments or deleted posts and stuff like that, where they can hide certain things or boost certain things. That's a bad thing.
Yes.
Everyone knows that it exists, and everyone knows that there is actual power in that. I don't think anyone actually disputes that.
I have had major live streamers who are effectively celebrities come to me and beg to kind of remove, negative posts about them. An even crazier story is the time when some—
Oh my god, he's like shaking, like saying this. Oh my god, I hate when people speak like that. Oh my, it's like that I have friends in high places sentence. Oh.
Twitch employees found me in person and borderline begged me to make sure LSF is not used to destroy the multi-billion-dollar company Twitch, partially because at the time, LSF was indeed being used to destroy the multi-billion-dollar company Twitch. Deservedly so, by the way.
That's right, you better bow down. Every Twitch employee, when he walked through the door at TwitchCon, got on their hands and knees, instantly groveling at his feet, begging, pleading with him to stop the attack on Twitch, the multi-billion-dollar organization. Dan Clancy came in and sucked his wiener, I heard, in order to try and appease him so that he would stop using LSF to destroy the multi-billion-dollar corporation that is Twitch. Like, come on, man. Like, look at how you're talking about this. This is exactly why you shouldn't have a position as a top moderator of a subreddit. Like this, you are demonstrating the caricature of a Reddit moderator right now.
Or even just take this literal circumstance. Imagine the whole kind of operation was legit. Well, guess what? One single post on LSF caused all of the streamers to drop out and destroyed a $20 million opportunity. Sorry, Mythic. My bad. Or imagine it was, I guess, a scam through and through. Well, guess what? We were the ones to expose it and destroy it before it had the chance to cause any real harm. I mean, everybody got refunded after all. Guess things ended up okay.
Why do you keep saying that? Where are you finding that information about everyone getting refunded? Are the organizers telling you that? Like, I really don't know where you're seeing that. But again, man, yes.
Can you guys just think of the video for a sec and think about what he's saying? If somebody uploaded this, said it was an AI-generated satire of a Reddit mod, everybody would have believed it and laughed because it is the best caricature. Like, it would have been pure gold comedy. But he's not even saying all of that unironically. No, sorry. He's not even saying that ironically. He's saying that unironically.
It is a big subreddit, which means things like this information about a $20 million potential scam will have naturally blossomed there, as it would anywhere else on like a big Twitter community or a different subreddit. LSF just happens to be the biggest one. It has nothing to do with you. This is just natural when there is a big community. This would happen on another platform or another subreddit. It is not your achievement for creating the LSF ecosystem that shares clips about a potential scam. And in fact, you could even make an argument that you have actually been a hindrance in some cases in the past with certain things that weren't allowed to blossom there. Like, this is... I don't even understand the point he's making. People know that big subreddits or big Twitter communities or whatever do have a lot of influence. But that happens with or without this guy as the top moderator of the subreddit. That is just the result of a ton of people all in a similar space, in a similar vertical, that are sharing things back and forth. Like, his point is one that everybody knows.
I was one of your most passionate users. I was in the Reddit partnership program from the start. I took advantage of every opportunity that I could. I had meetings with kind of the Reddit community managers. I begged them for help and kind of partnership opportunities at every chance that I could. And I was blown off every single time.
You already said at the beginning of the video that the sole reason you pursued this moderator status is because of the power that it afforded. I don't know why he's now trying to say that he's just so passionate. And even in this section here, he's talking about how he was trying to utilize every possible advantage to like get like brand deals and stuff, man.
How?
That's self-enrichment through this position. This doesn't really seem like...
Why would you get brand deals as a Reddit mod?
It's coming from a place of a guy who's trying to like better communities or improve subreddits or make things better for others. This feels like you were chasing power and trying to use it to continue to climb that Reddit ladder, whatever that may be.
I was one of the only moderators out there who tried to grow my community, who had any ambition, who tried to work with the company or help other subreddits or help the kind of the company that whole, and it didn't matter. I failed, and it failed because of how mismanaged and how little support Reddit, the company, gives to moderators. None of this would have happened if I had gotten support from Reddit. Do you think that I want to be the guy like going out, like messaging random people in Discords and LinkedIn's and trying to figure out kind of
Can YouTube mods get brand deals? Asking for a friend. All right, mods, don't get any ideas.
these partnerships.
It ain't happening.
I don't.
Then don't fucking do it, buddy. Chalamet, I'm gonna drop an Adam Sandler impression on you here. You are a moderator in a subreddit. Why are you chasing down brand partnerships and collaborations, buddy? The whole point of subreddits is just for a community to come together and talk about certain things, share certain things. And your job as a moderator, and I use job very loosey-goosey because it should never be misconstrued as a job. It's supposed to be filled by very passionate fans of similar mind in the same space that would then just enforce like certain rules about like, you know, making sure someone doesn't get like doxxed or something sensitive being shared like that. Like that is supposed to be all it is. Why are you trying to even find partnerships and deals like that? That doesn't seem, in my eyes, to ever benefit the community. It only feels like it would benefit the mods that are chasing it down. You like to use examples, so I'll use one for you. Let's say you chased down this partnership with $1 Million Fan Show, and it wasn't going super well, and the organizers and you, well, you like to exchange back and forth, and they're like, look, we really need a favor here. Can you only post some of the positive stuff from $1 Million Fan Show and get rid of like the pesky, you know, maybe clips that are negative about it? That would really help us. And let's say you object to that and they're like, okay, well then we're not going to work with you in an official capacity anymore if you don't do this. You see the conflict that this creates? It leads to, I can't believe I'm going to use this word when talking about fucking subreddits and mods, but it leads to very blatant corruption, where you are now in bed with some of these organizations or someone that could benefit from you gamifying your subreddit to cater it more towards them. Maybe it wasn't financial in this case, maybe you weren't paid for it, but extend this thought process to another type of subreddit where maybe there is someone paying for it. Like, let's say I'm a music artist and I want to be featured on like the r/rock hard rock subreddit, and I want to make sure my single gets out there, so I reach out to a mod and like, hey, look, I'll pay you some money if you can try and like boost this up a little bit. And this is something that I've read reports of happening in the past.
Really?
And I think you would agree that that's a problem, right? Now imagine if those mods are also chasing down other artists, like, hey, I see your Spotify streams are a little low. If you toss us a little money here, we can use our subreddit and the influence of it to try and boost it up a little bit higher. That's not a good thing.
If Reddit had offered me partnerships, if Reddit had pipelines to connect with kind of major companies, if Reddit had lawyers that were helping me, like reading over these contracts, reading over these agreements, none of these very real mistakes that I made would have happened. Reddit needs to be professionalized, and it starts with the mods. This is going to be controversial, but the people who are running your multi-billion-dollar website are unqualified nobodies like me. That doesn't mean it's my fault or their
Nobody's like me? Did he actually say this? Nobody's like me?
fault. It's your fault, Spez.
Damn, what a mic drop.
Wow.
Brother, there are no qualifications to be a Reddit mod. That is a position that the community is supposed to like decide upon, like, hey, here's our rules, and here's who we would like to enforce them, and that's it. It should never be this deep. I just don't understand why he can't grasp, and maybe he
It should never be this deep.
can, and he's just pretending not to, the concept that if you have mods that are financially incentivized to work with brands in collaboration with them to use the community for their collaborators' purpose, you now have a very disingenuous subreddit that is very easily influenced based on who is paying for it. That should be a very clear conflict, a very obvious issue. It should be pretty obvious why Reddit wouldn't want to invest in a suite of resources like lawyers and brand ambassadors
what the
for
hell?
Reddit mods to look over contracts and shit for Reddit mods securing deals to sell out their subreddit. That's not a good thing.
That means access to
He took a DNA test, turns out he's 100% Himalayan. Shut up with your lame jokes.
anything that like a talent manager would give an actual celebrity. So an access to a bounty board or ad deals or lawyers or event organizers or professionals or anything that actually matters.
To you, personally, actually matters to just you. the guy who is benefiting from the ad deals and brand partnerships and shit. That does nothing for the community you are supposed to be moderating for, brother. What are you not understanding there? Like, he is only arguing to help himself under the guise of it being to grow his subreddit. It only grows you, man.
To summarize, Reddit moderators should be treated like celebrities or influencers, not because they deserve respect or anything, but because they actually have real power and influence. I mean, if not for the world, at least over your $50 billion company, maybe if you gave them actual support, it could go from 50 billion to 100 billion. I mean, it certainly deserves to be that high up for how much traffic Reddit gets.
Yes.
Oh my god, he said this unironically. He's 100% serious right now.
It's a high-level financial growth strategy here. The way to double your company is by spending resources to connect your subreddit moderators with talent managers that will chase down brand deals for them. So that way they can feel like a celebrity and I guess cash in on their mod status.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm really seeing the line now. The pieces of the puzzle are coming together nicely. I get it.
To the community, Spez and Reddit, they're almost certainly not going to fix any of this. All of this is up to us to solve.
He then tries to address the community about like this problem, and I really don't even understand the problem he's trying to portray here, because all he keeps hammering home is that he is a top moderator, wasn't given enough resources. Like
This guy should start streaming. He could be a lolcow. No, for real. I'm not even kidding right now. This is great. This is so funny.
like lawyers, and he wasn't treated like a celebrity enough, and he didn't have the ability to chase down brand deals, which led to him making a poor decision here with the $1 Million Fan Show. How is that a problem that the community, like, would rally behind, man? You just shouldn't have done it in the first place. Reddit shouldn't be a platform where mods are selling out big communities for the sake of brand deals. I don't see a whole lot of community support coming for that kind of message. He keeps presenting it as a problem, but actually I think this video demonstrates exactly why Reddit made the right call removing him from his position.
Yes.
Like, I don't know how he's not seeing that.
To solve all of the problems that I have laid out, we will create tools and resources so good, so useful, that everybody will have to work with us. Think talent agency, but for subreddits. You have the big ideas, you have the vision, you have the crazy cool things that you want to do, and we handle the logistics. Materially, that means connections to major companies, partnerships, doing AMAs, running events, doing mod recruitment, cross-collaboration with other relevant sub.
He just wants to be an influencer. He's like, here I am in the shadows of all these streamers and celebrities, but one day I will have my time.
Reddits. That kind of stuff.
He then pitches his new thing here, which a talent agency for subreddit mods, I guess. I don't want to get into it. I've been yapping about this for so long. It's just, this video blew my mind that he would actually post something like this. Again,
me too.
I do actually feel bad for him because this is clearly a position that meant a lot to him. And I'm wishing him the best going forward now without his, sheriff badge of LSF. But I do not think a talent agency for mods is the right path. But I'm not his dad. He can do what he wants. It's just, this was a mind-boggling adventure watching this one. Anyway, that's really about it. See ya.
Go do something else, dude. Like, run a... I don't know, people go, like, volunteer for the theater committee, and then you can get fundings for them. They would actually appreciate that. Or they, like, volunteer for the children's soccer team as one of the coach. You can power trip on the kids. He'd have done well as part of the Cinder crew. Why does it look like he's in 2009? True, he really was going for that vibe. Not just, I can't believe this video was a real thing and he uploaded that. So that was the video on the scam.
I was sleepy once. It was a
And it involves Mythic, my agency.
long time ago. If you think I look tired, well, you better get your eyes checked, Buster. That's a certified WebMD diagnosable moment right there that something has gone awry with your peepers. Could a sleepy man do this? Checkmate. Point is, in my endless battle against insomnia, I happen to have stumbled across something interesting again this evening, and it pertains to last night's video about the $20 million reality TV show, Twitch streamer, fan, production, extravaganza, mansion, titties, beer, rock and roll, whatever else it was pitching itself as, called the $1 Million Fan Show.
This is the last thing I'd want to watch on mainstream TV. Like, okay, if it was on Twitch, I could see a reality show happening on Twitch, but I do not want to see this on my TV.
Well, I speculated that it was a big scam, and a lot of Twitch streamers had been publicly put on the website. Some had even made announcements about their endorsement of the $1 Million Fan Show, and nothing about it seemed legitimate. I'm not just going to regurgitate everything from last night's video. You can check that out if you want a deeper dive on everything that was wrong with it. But last night on stream, like 45 minutes after I posted the video, they took their website down. Then I was checking their other ancillary shit, and all of that is removed. It seems like they are scrubbing any existence of the $1 Million Fan Show from the internet. So like even the Reddit post that the livestream fail mods posted is taken down. I don't know if that was by order of the $1 Million.
Oh my god, it was from him! It was from the Reddit mod video that we just watched!
Fan Illuminati, or if the mods that had signed an agreement with them had a come to Jesus moment that they may have been misled, so they decided to take it down. But apparently they also removed like their Discord and their socials, which is a huge blow, by the way, because the $1 Million Fan Show had like 5 Instagram followers, so really playing a sad song on the world's smallest violin now that 5 Instagram followers have been cast into oblivion, banished to the Shadow Realm. I feel like that's pretty strong evidence for my game theory that it was all a big load of hullabaloo, a bunch of hooey. I don't think a legitimate company that's putting together a $20 million grand prize reality show that is also a television program that is also employing some of the highest level production staff imaginable for a once-in-a-lifetime unforgettable experience for streamer fans. Also, their About Us section had all the telltale signs of just being AI generated, where literally every section ended with triplets where it was, you know, it's not this, it's this. Performance, power, mentality, tits, mentality. Like, it's just like, it was very clearly
Tits.
AI generated. The fucking first thing you see on their website is an AI generated image of a mansion. The whole thing just reeked of scam. And now everything has
I
been
want to see that. Is he gonna show
deleted,
it?
presumably by them. I don't think, you know, some governing body came in to, you know, wipe them out. I think this is them trying to cover their own ass, so that way there isn't some kind of legal action taken against them. Because from what I've read, there were actually some members of some streamer communities that put money into the $1 Million Fan Show. They bought emote packages. I read a report on someone that claims to have spent a couple $100 doing so.
Aww.
So I imagine there was a handful of people that did legitimately lose money on this. Now, of course, you have to take those claims with a grain of salt because there's no real evidence to back it up, especially now that everything is deleted. There's nothing to prove that. But I'm inclined to believe those statements from them because these streamers are, you know, to a lot of people, a trustworthy source. And if they're endorsing something and they say that there's a chance that they can win $20 million or whatever the fuck through like signing up for it, they will do so. And when you go to the website and do their free sign up, they're very heavily pushing you to do the monetized sign up for unlimited entries by giving them money. So I bet a lot of them were baited into doing that. Now, as I said in the last video, I am shocked that Mythic Talent actually even
The name of the show was $1 Million Fan Show.
floated this to their creators, like Extra Emily. She, in her statement, mentioned Mythic Talent by name, that they had pitched it to her. I was surprised it made it to a streamer because anyone that even had their eyes open and neurons firing for a second would go to that website and know full well immediately, right from the jump, that this is not real, that this is fraudulent. So I did a little digging, and I was able to get in contact with an agent, not at Mythic, but at another agency that did have this exact same thing come across their desk for their streamer clients as something to pitch to them. And according to that agent, I don't know how deep into the nitty-gritty I'm allowed to get, what they sent them, the pitch deck, was extraordinarily different from what ended up making it to that website. From what I understand, and from what I have been told, they were under the impression that this was an Amazon-backed production, at least initially. And at the time of receiving this offer, they didn't have a website or anything public outside of that pitch deck, I guess, they were hawking to agencies. And it is indeed a paid promotion. The streamers that are listed there were paid for this partnership, and there was no additional information available beyond the concept of the show and the promise that Amazon was behind a historic $20 million streamer fan buttfuck hullabaloo reality TV show.
Okay.
Now, one of the streamers also sent me the exact offer that was presented to them, which gives further confirmation to all of this. It comes from Mythic. This is the direct offer from Mythic that this streamer received. I'm not going to show the actual thing, so that way no one gets into legal hot water here. I don't want to, step on too many Legos, but I will give you the general overview for what the pitch was, the offer. Interestingly enough, the offer came back in June of 2025 from Mythic. And the opening line was about how it's an Amazon series. This is an Amazon series looking to break records, a historic $20 million prize purse reality show. It doesn't even name the show, by the way. I'm guessing back in June of 2025, they didn't even have the name of the show or anything concrete. There was no website, no mention of like LSF or brand partners or anything like that. It was just a single sentence that said, Amazon reality TV show set to air on Amazon Prime, featuring the soon-to-be-broken Guinness World Record book for biggest prize pool in history, 20 million, winning group splits money in half, 10 million to you and 10 million to the fan. That is the entire explanation for what this deal was. Interestingly enough, like I said, June of 2025. The deliverables were in a reality TV show appearance, 1 to 7 days, depending on how far you make it, and a single social post. The initial filming date was November 3rd to November 10th, but guessing, some wires got crossed there, fucking nipple clamps came down, maybe government shutdown, put that on the back burner, so that had to put the kibosh on that and shelve it till, I guess, 2026. Anyway, though, they were offering $3,000 for the streamer involvement here, plus 20% of net ticket sales from your ticket, which the streamer expressed some confusion over because they didn't believe Mythic knew that there was like this paid entry option. But in the offer, it says they were getting 20% of net ticket sales. When you go, well, knowing now, hindsight's 2020, but like going to the website that existed, when you would sign up through a streamer portal, you were paying for those entries if you wanted to extend beyond just the free submission. So I'm thinking that the idea from this offer was that when someone, a fan of the streamer, did a paid entry through their portal, they would get a portion of that. So like I feel like Mythic would have had to have known that there was some kind of like paid component to the fans, but who knows? There's so little information here in the actual offer that Mythic took to the streamers. I am still extremely surprised it even made it to a single streamer as something to consider. I don't know why there wouldn't be more digging to confirm if this is actually even an Amazon show, because after the offer, they then go into like a general explanation for it, and it is so bare bones. It sounds like something that a person would cook up in 5 minutes while taking a shit after consuming like, their morning oats or something. There's not a whole lot of thought into this. Competition details.
It looks
one creator,
bad.
one fan group eliminated per day. $20 million cash prize. One creator, 2 fans.
Like the $20 million cash prize should have been the first red flag.
They will be gaming, IRL, and cognitive challenges. Think Survivor, but for creators. And then it just lays out like the most simple, boring shit ever for the competition. And then the Apocalypse challenge on day 3. during which fans will compete head-to-head with each other, resulting in a mass elimination. Narrow the group down so each creator is ultimately paired with one of their original fans for the last 4 days.
Well, the cognitive challenges would have been really challenges for some of these streamers.
It's like, it's if you went to like a fucking Redditor and asked them to really quickly come up with a streamer game show or something. Now, as for the initial start date of November, the streamer was just told that it got pushed back to March. I don't think there was any like real explanation for what went wrong. You know, maybe bad weather, perhaps government shutdown, you know, all kinds of possibilities for why it got moved. But they weren't really, you know, kept up to date, kept abreast on everything going on here with this huge, giant Amazon show. I am even more surprised that any agency would have seen this and just shipped it as is, just said, fuck it, do it live. We'll send it out to our streamers to see if they'll accept the $3,000 offer with the 20% ticket sales split or whatever. Because, like, I feel like when you are getting this as, you know, pitched as an Amazon production, you would probably want to confirm if this is actually coming from Amazon. Because if you're going to work at this agency managing these kind of contracts and stuff, but you're working under the impression that no one's going to tell lies on the internet, what's stopping just any old Joe Schmo Dorito dusted fingers from sending you a cold call email saying like, hey, this is me, Amazon, pitching you a $50 quadrillion reality television show. I'll offer like $3,000 with some rev split to your streamers. Do you mind taking this to them? I'd love if they start shouting out goochsweat.org soon. It's a very legitimate reality TV show. We're Amazon, by the way.
True, though.
And you not press that any further, because that's what it feels like. Looking at the offer, there is no actual information about like Amazon being behind this. And since this was back in June of 2025, I can understand the absence of a website a little bit more back there, because if this is like an Amazon show, they're probably not going to make the website first and foremost because they don't want to like spoil it or anything. Like, I can kind of understand that. So streamers being left in the dark on, you know, like a website that they can access, like this website, it didn't exist according to the streamer. It just recently popped up, which according to Whois, that does appear to be the case. Even though the domain had been registered for a while, it was updated in like late December. So that's probably when it actually went live, which is when anyone could go on there and see how fraudulent it was with just a single fucking glance. So I do now understand that there were streamers that literally couldn't look up this show because the offer doesn't even have the name of the show and the website didn't exist. What I'm still confused on is like why anyone would still accept that deal. And then I start to understand a bit more that they just have trust in the agency not to be presenting them with a scam.
Yeah.
They had trust that the Mythic talent, for example, like in Extra Emily's case, was bringing them something that was legitimate. So they're seeing like, oh, it's an Amazon show that wants to work with me and they're making this offer. Okay, this seems like a big deal. I'll sign up to that and, you know, do the social post or whatever. Also, if you try and look up milliondollarfan.show now, the most recent update to the site was today, because the update was just nuking it, taking it down. But prior to that, it was updated in late December, which is when I imagine this went live. So now it seems like the streamers literally didn't even have access to look up the information themselves on that website, which again, doesn't take a super sleuth, you know, fucking pinky up internet, you know, narwhal baconing at midnight master to see that that is a fucking disaster of a website that is clearly in a shady spot, most likely looking to scam. The streamers didn't know that site was there because the deal was all the way back in June. Though I will say, looking at the offer, this should have been something that I think streamers should have been a little weary of, because it feels like it is very odd just looking at it. But
yeah, you'd have to ask questions, and I mean, there's some things that Mythic does well, but there's some other things that sometimes, you know, you have to ask more questions to get answers, because I feel like there's some things that aren't completely fleshed out. And this all started with Extra Emily, by the way.
I think that does fall a bit more on the agency than it does the streamer itself, because there is a level of trust from streamers with the person that is like managing their brand deals, that what they are getting is not just fucking toilet paper that's trying to wipe their ass with their fans. And in this case, I am still just shocked that it even made it to the streamers in the first place. This should have been probably caught far earlier. I imagine they could have confirmed well beyond this, like almost a year later, that this wasn't Amazon behind it. If they had like, you know, maybe set up like calls or something or looked for any
Yeah.
level of proof of this being Amazon, like even just questioning where is this money coming from? Who else are we working with?
Yeah, because I think it's like internet users flagged this like almost immediately.
What is the actual production timeline and all of that looking like? I feel like there was definitely a way like Mythic Talent could have caught this and then never even had to get to this point where there were real victims where based on what I've read, there were people that put in like hundreds of dollars, which again, I know you have to take it with a grain of salt because there's no like evidence to support those claims that people lost a ton of money since now everything is scrubbed, but I'm inclined to believe them because the audience has a level of trust in the streamer that what they are pitching is not just a scam that's going to just rob their fucking piggy banks. So I do think that there were real victims here, and I think it was just so easily avoidable. This shit is just fucking wild that it even happened. RIP $1 Million Show. Definitely feels like it was a scam from the get-go, considering they have just vanished, poofed out of existence, and erased every trace that they were ever even here to begin with. Anyway, though, that's really about it. So, yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, they need to be more vigilant, that's for sure. That's for sure. You also need to check everything, even though you have an agent, you're an agency, but they are supposed to do the first steps, like the first few layers of vigilance. And you're also still supposed to check if you're getting paid, if you're receiving the money, you're supposed to do follow-ups. It's two different roles, two different parts of the chain. Because we've seen with VShojo, if you don't check your payments, then whoop, they can just disappear. Yeah, we watched a video. We just watched a video of Moist Critical talking about the mod of LSF, which was what led us to watch this video. Yeah, it was a good video. Yeah, I'm getting Vietnam flashbacks from VShojo. Well, woo! I'm really tired suddenly now. I like crashed. Really good stream. Thanks for hanging out a lot. That was fun. Oh, wait. There's more? So this LSF Reddit moderator that's crashing out is ex-Twitch staff, has an agenda against VTubers, talks about how he became a Reddit mod for the power, makes a post on how VTubers aren't being targeted on Twitch. Sure, buddy. You can't make this up. Holy shit, Kazahana with the receipts. VTubers are not being targeted on Twitch. How a lie spreads. Haven't you heard the news? Twitch just implemented new protection against viewbotting. That's gone horribly wrong. VTuber views are down 50 to 60% compared to 4 days ago, as shown in this graph. Oh, fuck this. This guy is so insufferable. Holy shit. I think that a screenshot from August 2025. Well, color me surprise. Actually, not. That doesn't surprise me at all. This. Fuck this somehow. Reddit mod and Twitch staff. Yikers. Wasn't he the one that was like saying that Twitch staff were like, you know, bending their knees to him or something? He was like power tripping on that. The purple halo light around him was so bad. I don't know why he really likes these sort of like Photoshop slash like AI edits of himself. It looks so weird. I bet his profile is really cringe too. Wow. Wowza. Alright. Sending you guys to I'll send you guys to a Apollo on. Oh, actually, or Taiga. We have never rated Taiga, I think. Taiga on Twitch and Armchair on YouTube. Thank you guys for watching. It's been a great stream. Tomorrow I'm playing Crusader Kings 3 with some friends, Ark, Lumi, and my dry bread. So I'll see you tomorrow for world domination. Bye-bye.